fate is before you. Choose wisely.
Like I work in finance. God bless, no, it's not by chance. Don't dab me, you're not my man. Don't at me, you're not my man. Mama said don't buy it if you cannot buy it twice. I cop by the tools and I don't pump fake with the price. Always on the grind, I put in work with all my might. I know that he got me, not by sight. I skirt like Vandy's, I slide out Landis, Vito Benji, all black like Pappy. Sit 4 days, that's for sure though. Grinding from the grip, no shame, take a photo. Time to take a trip, we head north to the border. Say you feeling up, I'm my favorite type of hoarder. I got kids to feed, I got enemies, I got God's gift, so they envy me. Got some friends down Memphis like I'm Aubrey. Got some friends fought for orange like some autumn leaves. I skirt like Vandy's, I slide out Landis, Vito Benji, all black like Batman. I skirt like Venice, I slide out Landis, Vito Benji, all black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Yeah. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my ass. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Watch out for those who surround you, need no funny kind. You can't see what's on my brain, I live inside my mind. Out of space and out of sight, you need me in my line. Need no face, don't need no phonies, no. Need no snakes, no only homies down for show. On go. Get a book and get the front end, we load up and roll. I got kids, yeah, I got staff, I make a little need more. I sell records, you sell packs, not on my level, no. I'm a pop star, I'm a rock star, I'm a winner. Think I'm not hard, you smoke rock hard waste, man, why you dumb? I'm with airline, we on airlines like we on the run. I'm with Tay, girls run up on me, they done. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Yeah. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my ass. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my.
Ma jolie, oh ma jolie. Every time I come around you, baby girl, something doesn't feel the same. You said that I'm changing, but it's really you. I see how you play those games. Wifey type for a maid man. A queen can make moves, a king can't. Snatch you up, now you taking. Gave you bricks, now you building. A wall up. Lately you and I been all off. All love, I don't know what's up with our love. Our love, you forgetting all about us, oh. My jolie, oh my jolie, where are you? When I need you the most, you still MIA. This is murder, heart is melting, girl you got me. Called your bluffing, made you something, now you talking. Telling me to cool it off, how can I cool it off, telling me to cool it off, how can I cool it off, my jolie, oh my jolie, my jolie, oh my jolie. You don't turn on me now, you don't get no time for me now, babe. Got him on a rebound, but it's only you that I like, babe. Tout ce que j'ai fait c'était pour toi. Sur le haut parlement t'écoutes pas. Tu me vois crever mais tu bouges pas. Pourquoi? Whoa, yo, wall up, you can't even get the scars up. For us, I don't know what's up with our love. You forgetting all about us, oh. My jolie, oh my jolie, where you been? When I need you the most, you still MIA. This is murder, heart is melting, girl you got me. This is called your bluffing, made you something, now you talking. I call you bluff, telling me to cool it off, how can I cool it off, telling me to cool it off, how can I cool it off, my jolie, oh my jolie. Girl, you got me. Called your bluffing, made you something, now you talking. Telling me to cool it off, how can I cool it off, telling me to cool it off, how can I cool it off, I don't know how to cool it off. My jolie, oh my jolie.
I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, he's my mind. All the time, he's my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I might rent the Lambo and go drive it like it's stolen. I've been living wild, I'm just going through the motions. Stumbling out the Uber, grabbed my hand, gave me a notion. Swimming in your water, but it feels just like the ocean. I can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, he's my mind. All the time, he's my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I was sipping more for 2 years straight to the face. Champagne belly bubbles still won't go away. Last year my best man hit a stain with bad face. Now he's got a hell behind the water's cold case. I wake up with pain sometime and never go away. Wonder why I bow down to my knees when I pray. In my city gritty, gotta keep it on your waist. Or you might be a victim, they'll find you DOA. I can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, he's my mind. All the time, he's my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you.
It's a hard thing to admit, but it's understandable why they would choose to go their own way. And that's what's scary, is there's actually a rational reason why they would do that.
Men going their own way. And you can think what you want about it, but this is a really big problem for women, for us, for our future, for families, for you to find a partner. If a population of good men are walking away because they're fed up with women,
if you're being told all your life that you are bad and wrong just for being a man, and that you have toxic masculinity for being a man, and that, you know, women, there's this famous expression that, you know, a woman needs a man just like a fish needs a bicycle. And that men are basically useless. And that men are terrible, and that, you know, women are superior.
Our society is very callous towards men. The only message most men hear in the world is that they're a bumbling buffoon. The TV shows are full of idiot men. Commercials show men as buffoons. The society is against them. All they hear about is what idiots men are.
It's the mass of women that are taking over the culture and representing women. They're loud. They're mean. They say they want equality. Why are they not protesting in the streets for the changing the laws for alimony or child support or child custody? Because they don't want equality. They want superiority.
The male gender has more of a slave state, and it's because men are now subjugated to the law and to women, and nobody really believes it, except the men who go through, say, the court. But most men think that they're exempt from that until they end up in a bad situation.
So for a lot of the men, and a lot of them have gotten screwed over in terrible relationships and divorces, and gotten their kids taken away from them. So it's an understandable response.
In the United States of America, as a man, you can't speak up. I think most women tend to be very, I'm stereotyping, but they tend to be more collectivist. They tend to sort of be more in that socialist mindset. So I don't know that you're going to see a huge change. I think the change will have to come from men.
The lives of women will not change until the men get the opportunity to also examine and define and change their lives. In many ways, I sometimes think that the 20th century was the century where the women made all these massive changes, and the 21st century will be the changes that the men will make, partly in adaptation to the changes that the women have done.
And those men are doing something about it. They're saying, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm not getting married, or I'm divorced. They don't sit around just trying to live their life through women. They actually have lots of hobbies. They go out, they buy that land you were talking about. They're getting motorcycles. They're having a good time, and they're enjoying life without having to deal with the stress of the women and the society that tells them they have to have a woman in their life.
How would you feel? I mean, you know, you're not going to feel that attracted to a woman or care to be loving towards her or romantic towards her. So this men going their own way is a reaction to that. I really think it's a rational reaction to that. Men are finally like, hey, we've given you all you want. You know, you are equal in every way, and then you're still shaming us.
About to start, this show is going to more or less highlight the whole fiasco with Torey Lanez and Meg the Stallion. And we're going to give a comparative analysis of how Torey Lanez has been arrested because of failing to meet the mandates of the courts. But the question remains, guys, on tonight, are you arrested because you continue to allow negative modern women impact you in a negative way? Get your pens and paper ready. We're about to do it. Let's go. to you live once again from the greatest state in the Union, the Tar Heel State, where the topography is serene, pristine, and verdant green, where every day is Father's Day, and where manhood is part of hills and valleys, victories and failures, and whereas men, we don't agree on all things or ideologies, but tonight we come together as allies of a common cause only to dissipate once the crisis is over. Now listen, I'm about to drop some fire for your mind, but before I drop that fire, let's explore why we are doing the Manhood Chronicles. Have a comprehensive conversation on today. And shout out to my Tar Heels, man. We had a great game. It was a great season. Got all the way down to the national championship. But we lost the game, but nonetheless, we're not here to talk about the Tar Heels and their epic season. We're here to talk about something that you men are dealing with that has led to the Manhood Chronicles. To my moderators that are listening, guys, if you can block that spam, please do, guys. That spam is very annoying. I don't know where it's coming from. But it's a lot of spam coming in that's not appropriate. And so if you guys could block it, let me know. If you guys can block it, let me know. But nonetheless, we're going to have a good show on tonight, guys. We're going to have another good show on tonight as we talk about how art not only imitates life, but why there still appears to be a crisis in manhood, a crisis that's causing many men to not only suffer in silence, but it's causing a lot of men to begin to see modern women for what they really are. Many men are looking for traditional women, women that will love them, honor them, and respect them. Most men want traditional good women, women that got their back, women that honor them, women that love them, and women that support them. But when a man doesn't get what he wants in a relationship, when he's not aware of how some, not all, but how some modern women can be very dangerous to his psyche, very dangerous to his soul, mind, and spirit, then we begin to see how art often imitates life. And art is beginning to imitate life, guys, not only as it relates to Torey Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion, but Meg Thee Stallion is an archetype of some or many modern women. I did a poll, guys, in the past, and I asked the men what percentage of women did they feel were wife-worthy or wife-ready. And only a small percentage said that they felt that the typical woman was wife-ready and or wife-worthy. And that's very telling and that's very troubling, because if we're going to form a more perfect union, then we need women that can help our men become the better versions of themselves. But a man can't become the better version of himself if he's dealing with a woman that does not have his best interests. Every man needs a woman in his life that can give him a story or give him a picture that can be positive. But when men keep telling the same stories over and over and over and over and over again, guys, it becomes very problematic. Get the likes up. Share this content. I need you guys to share the content. You guys have been extremely awesome over the last couple of days. You guys have done a great job, and I'm forever grateful, and I appreciate it. Shout out to my man Top Gun for doing such an awesome job. Tim Howard, thank you, Tim. But we need to talk about these conversations, guys, because as I said earlier, Meg Thee Stallion is just a reflection of the broader society. And there's a strong population of men that want equitable and good women. Now watch this. Every man is not worthy of a qualified woman either. Every man is not qualified to lead. Some of you men have not been under masculine authority or masculine leadership to the point you defer power instead of demanding power. I told you guys in the past, she only respects power and strength. That's all she respects. And what you guys are beginning to see now folding before your eyes is this toxic revelation and this toxic relationship with Meg Thee Stallion and Torey Lanez. This story, guys, go back in the past where Torey Lanez was accused of doing something negative to Meg Thee Stallion. But it was more or less provided by the evidence that his DNA was not on that weapon of choice, and that Meg Thee Stallion was lying. And see, just like Chris Rock, guys, just like Chris Rock, just like a lot of other men, just like Chris Rock, men are beginning to see that you got to always stand on masculine principles, and you got to always stand, guys, on masculine authority. When you don't stand on masculine principles, when you don't stand on masculine authority, then not only can you have your mind, thought, your mind, soul, body, and spirit arrested, you can also have your finances arrested too. And see, arrested development often occurs when men don't have the proper toolage by other masculine men to guide them through this maze called life. And some of you men that are listening have been arrested. You have not been arrested as it relates to the penal system, but you have been arrested in your mind. And I told you guys that a hopeless man is a broken man. A broken man is a very dangerous man. Torey Lanez and many men have been arrested by dealing with women that were not quality women. Some of it is the men's fault to blame because they didn't properly vet these women. But some of it, guys, is because we live in a society where men are beginning to become frustrated. Many are looking for therapists that can guide them in the right and the proper direction. But when they don't have the proper guidance, then men go through what's called a catharsis. And many times that catharsis is a catharsis that is within. It's not a catharsis that is without. And so when men don't have the opportunity to emote their thoughts and their feelings, when they don't have the opportunity to emote what's going on with them in a mental way, then they become a slave to their own ignorance. They become dangerous. And that's what happens, guys, when you get with dangerous and toxic women. Not noteworthy women, not honorable women, but very dangerous women. And that's why, like Mr. Palmer said, you have to change the law of your mind. When you change the law of your mind, then you begin to see the modern woman in a different perspective. Now watch this. I'm not saying that all modern women are bad. I'm not saying that. I am not saying that all modern women are bad. Some of it is part of indoctrination and negative socialization. But by and large, many men are saying that more than less are dangerous and are not worthy of honor and respect. And so we're going to get right into this show, guys. Get the likes up. Share this content to the 16 that are watching. Guys, share this content and let's have a show. Let's have a conversation. Because when men don't get their needs met, you can be another Torey Lanez. When men don't get their needs met, guys, you can become a victim of your own ignorance. When men don't get their needs met, you begin to traverse through this negative maze called life in a state of tumult or also in a state of turmoil. And you're in turmoil because you don't know or have not learned how to use the proper coping skills. You've gotten with toxic women like, Meg Thee Stallion. And when you get with toxic women like Meg Thee Stallion, it can cause a schema affliction. That schema is a fixation in your head that's due to pain or fear. And many times, guys, you don't have the proper people to help you circumnavigate through that schema affliction. And many times you either suffer financially, you suffer morally, or you suffer spiritually. I told you guys that a man that lacks discipline, he will bring himself to poverty and shame. Poverty of thought, poverty of mind, but also poverty of spirit. And one of the things I'm going to do, guys, I got another show coming up at some point that I'm going to talk about and address something that's totally different. And it goes back to the Will Smith fiasco. And I told you guys that at some point, true to form, that Jada Pinkett was going to throw Will Smith under the bus. I knew it because it's typical of women that are toxic and narcissistic like him. That's why I tell men at all times, you have to stand firm in your masculinity. You have to make sure that your inner sanctum as a man is never violated. You have to stand firm in your masculinity, never wavering in your convictions, being strong and being vigilant as a man. Because as I said before, guys, she only respects power and strength. And when women respect power and strength, then they're not prone to do things that can be negative to you long term. Sadly, Will Smith is going to suffer the recompense of his era because he didn't have a qualified woman or a quality woman to protect him. Torey Lanez is going to suffer the recompense of his error as well, because Torey Lanez did not have a quality woman to help and to protect him as well. And see, guys, when you deal with toxic women like Meg Thee Stallion and also Jada Pinkett Smith, then you have to pay fines, not only the fines in your mind, but also you begin to pay literal fines that can lead irreparable damage long term. And what you guys seeing manifesting now is what's happening with a lot of men in society, black men and also white men. And it's caused a lot of men to come together and compare notes. And they compare notes to what we call the universality of brotherhood. When men begin to share their story, men begin to share their pain, and they begin to compare and contrast the analysis of what's going on. And because of that, guys, it's causing a lot of men to say, you know what? What is the benefit for me to give my best if I'm not getting anything in return? So once again, guys, share the content. If you're not donated to the channel, donate to Cash App $7Smalls. Donate to Cash App $7Smalls, and let's get this thing popping. Shout out to my man Top Gun for that $5 super sticker. Thank you, sir. I'm grateful. Top Gun has been holding me down, him and Tim Howard. I really appreciate it, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you for that $5 super sticker. And shout out to KP from KC5. Shout out to that brother. Guys, there's a lot of spam, so I'm gonna try to block it. I don't know where this crap is coming from, man. I don't know where it's coming from, guys. But Tim and Top Gun, you guys can block the spam. Please block it for me. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's extremely annoying, and it's getting so aggressive now. Yeah, it's very annoying. It's very annoying. So moderators, please block that spam while I'm trying to do this show. Don't know where it's coming from, but if you guys could block it, I would greatly appreciate it. And it's getting very aggressive. But anyway, so I'm going to, guys, show you something that's synonymous to what's going on with this whole fiasco with Torey Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion. So hold tight. Hold tight, guys. All right. Let me see if I can find it. All right. So according to TMZ, which is actually the news of choice for many celebrities, we're going to read it. So Torey Lanez handcuffed in court for violating order in Meg Thee Stallion case. Torey Lanez was handcuffed in court, and after being rude, he violated protective order in his case with Meg Thee Stallion for talking about her on social media. And see, guys, this is what happens when you deal with, like Mr. Palmer called them, BMTs, baby mama terrorists. And even though she might not be a baby mama, she got the spirit of one. And that's why you guys got to change the law in your mind. Shout out to Mr. Palmer. But this is what happens, guys, when you deal with women that are not traditional, women that are not virtuous, women that have been raised to be wives. You get very unsavory women like Meg Thee Stallion. The Canadian rapper had a hearing in L.A. where he was remanded into custody into the sheriff's department, and the judge set bail at $350,000. Prosecutors had requested that he be held without bail, or at least set at $5 million. Imagine, guys, if you got a post bail of $350,000. And that's what happens, guys, when you get with women like Meg Thee Stallion and some of these modern women and or virtuous wives. When you get with women like this, you are more complicit in suffering the recompense of your error. $350,000. We're told he's in the process of posting the $350,000. See, when you get with dangerous women, guys, and some of it is your fault because you like the big butt and the smile. Some of it is your fault. You got to take ownership for the parts that you are wrong in. But Torey Lanez said that blank had me blanking two best friends and I got caught. That's what I apologize for. It's sick how you spun it, though. And I guess he's talking to Meg Thee Stallion. The judge said that Torey Lanez tweet where he addressed Meg as you was a violation of protective order. He's not to contact or mention her at all. Torey fired off in a tweet by saying when he said, good blank had me blanking two best friends and I got caught, and that's what I apologize for. Prosecutors also voiced concern about a tweet from DJ Academics. Breaking. It was revealed in court that moments ago that Torey Lanez DNA was not found on the weapon in the Meg Thee Stallion case. And, you know, I don't really do a lot of celebrity news because, you know, it's goofy in some part, but sometimes celebrity news plays a role in the bigger kaleidoscope called life. And, you know, and what you're seeing, guys, is the prosecution believed that the information given to AK from Torey's team. However, Torey's attorney, Sean Holly, said that it was impossible because DJ Academic's initial tweet was wrong and Torey's DNA wasn't on the magazine. It was a sample from the gun that was inconclusive. About 15 minutes after posting this initial tweet, AK posted a new one which reflected the inclusive findings. Of course, all this pertains to the felony assault case stemmed from charges that he allegedly fired the gun in her direction and caused great bodily harm, which he pled not guilty. And this is what happens, guys, when you get with unsavory women that don't have your best interest at heart, that don't honor you, love you, or respect you as a man. These women can cause you to be in a negative state of flux. Shout out to Luke Cage. She said that we are in the check and report the troll for spam or inappropriate content. Thank you, dear. I appreciate that. Yeah, because I can't see all this stuff trying to read and talk at the same time. But guys, as I said earlier, it's becoming true to form. It's becoming to be true to form when you're dealing with women like Torey Lanez, when you're dealing with the typical modern woman, when you're not dealing with traditional women, traditional sisters, white or black, they have been trained to honor and respect their men. Men want reciprocity in relationships. When men don't get reciprocity in relationships, they begin to introspect and they begin to ask themselves the question, what is the benefit of me getting in a relationship? How does getting in a modern relationships and modern times benefit me as a man? That's why you got introspective black men of reform. That's why you got save yourself black man. That's why you got MGTOW, men going their own way, because men begin to introspect. They begin to ask themselves the questions because they're going through a catharsis in their soul and mind and spirit. What is the benefit of me getting married in modern times? Do I get honor? Do I get respect? Or do I get pain? Do I get honor? Do I get respect? Or do I get pain? And see, when a woman really loves a man, guys, I told you guys before in the past, when she really loves a man, she's not prone to be a slave of her emotions. She is not prone to be a slave of her emotions when she really loves a man. When a woman really loves a man, she's more open to doing the right things at all times. But when a woman does not love a man, she's more prone to be a slave to her emotions. Because when she can control her emotions outside of doing what that man asks her to do as it relates to his mission, then that means she's a woman that's worthy of a ring, but also a woman that's worthy of love. When a woman can love a man more than she loves her feelings, then that means that woman really loves that man. Because it takes a conscious effort to love that man outside of your feelings, because women tend to do things based on how they feel. So when you got a woman that's very spiritual and conscious, she said, you know what, baby, I'm gonna do the right thing. I got you. I'm constantly working on myself. That woman is wife worthy because she's willing to do the introspection. So let me finish, let me stop this share real quick. And I'm gonna bring up another one in a minute. And once again, guys, it's talking about the Torey Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion fiasco. And guys, this is what happens when you get with unsavory women like Meg Thee Stallion. All right, so Rolling Stones also gave a better analysis of what's going on. Torey Lanez was handcuffed after the judge said he violated protective orders in the Meg Thee Stallion case. The rapper spent 5 hours in custody before he was released on a higher $350,000 bail with the new crystal clear condition he can't mention Megan in social media. What do you guys think about this case? Do you think that the judge is going too far and saying that he can't say anything? What's your take on this whole fiasco with Meg Thee Stallion? And to the good women that are listening, and also the good brothers, do you think that Meg Thee Stallion is typical of most modern women? If you think it is, then hit 1. If you think Meg Thee Stallion is typical of most modern women, then hit 1. If you guys think that's the case, hit 1 if you think Meg Thee Stallion is typical of most modern women. Hit 1. Because many guys will argue that that is the case. Right. the Tucker said 1, and also Carson. All the brothers are saying the same thing. And that's problematic, guys. That's very problematic. I did a survey a couple of days ago, and I asked the question. What percentage of women that you guys felt were wife-ready or wife-worthy? And only a small percentage of men felt that the typical woman was wife-worthy or wife-ready. And what the guys are saying is that you begin to see it more and more. Timothy Harden said that she's just a typical kind, but sort of cute, right? And Lou Optic said that gag girls are very difficult for people who heavily rely on social media. Shout out to Luke Kaiser for that $10 super sticker. Thank you, dear. I appreciate that. And that is a deal, right? Thank you, Luke Kaiser. I appreciate it for that $10 super sticker. She said, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Got 5 on it. She said that it shows that he's unable to contain his impulse to talk about his personal business within the social media, even when he was told not to do so. Yes, I respect that, right? But you know, even though Torey Lanez is responsible for his own behavior, do you think women adequately try to protect their men? I don't know too much about Torey Lanez. I've heard about him and Meg Thee Stallion. I don't follow a lot of social media garbage, but I'm going to continue to finish reading this information about Torey Lanez. It said that he was handcuffed and taken to custody in the Los Angeles courtroom Tuesday after a judge found he violated protective orders in the felony assault case involving Meg Thee Stallion. Judge David Hereford revoked Lanez's prior bail of $250,000 and raised it to another $350,000 after hearing nearly an hour of arguments and finding Lanez violated court orders prohibiting him from contacting or harassing Megan or discussing any discovery in the case with outside parties. The said rapper had a bondsman with him for the morning hearing and spent about 5 hours in custody. Once he was processed and released, he climbed behind the wheel of waiting a Lamborghini, telling Rolling Stone he felt amazing before he drove off. Torey Lanez's real name is Daystar Peterson. He pleaded guilty, not in a high-profile case dating back to 2020. He appeared in court wearing a black tuxedo over a black turtleneck and was accompanied by his father and several friends. And I'm not going to read all of this, man. This is a lot to read. I'm not going to read all of it, but you guys get the gist of what's going on. You guys get the gist of what's going on. You guys see a man that's dealing with a toxic woman and a woman that's not honor and respect him as a man. And it's becoming very problematic, guys, not only with this brother, but with many men. A lot of men are beginning to feel that way. Sweet Lulu Bean said that Megan, the idiot, has been discussing accusing Torey on Instagram. Right. And this is what happens. Because they're not mature, then they turn on the men that they've honored and vowed to honor and respect. They turn on the men that they have valued to respect and honor. And see, guys, once again, that's why it's so dangerous to deal with unstable women. You need to get with women that are stable, but also, guys, women that are mature. When you get with stable, mature women, you're not in a state of flux where you can see your livelihood being impacted. This man got to pay $350,000 for dealing with a woman that's not only dangerous, but dealing with a woman that can cause him to have a lot of damage long term. And that's why it's so important for men to get with good women, quality women, because Torey Lanez can blame some of this on himself. But all too often, guys, the men tend to get the blame. All too often, guys, the men are the ones that are caught up in this hype. All too often, guys, the law and all other measures are not more or less equivocated to both sexes. And you're beginning to see it before your eyes as it relates to how social media and all media begin to treat men. And so a lot of men are getting frustrated about it. They're getting frustrated and they're beginning to evaluate their options, especially the men that got something to lose. Especially those men that have something to lose, they're beginning to evaluate their options so that they cannot be in a state of ill repair, so that they cannot be in a state of brokenness where they could suffer long term. And that's why, guys, we got to have these conversations. That's why we have to have the Manhood Chronicles. That's why we have to have stories when men come together and share their stories, but also share their pain. Because, so many of our women say that, they want men to protect them. They want men to protect them. And I'm gonna ask you guys a question. What percentage of women do you feel are worth protecting? What percentage of women do you feel are worth protecting? Because the sad thing is this: Jada Pinkett Smith caused Will Smith to be in a state of distress. And this is the same woman, guys, that turned around and threw him away and more or less minimized her part in the behavior that was more or less on full display last week. And see, guys, true to Eve, when women do wrong, the ones that are not mature, and I'm not going to say all of them, but a percentage of them are going to always blame you as a man. Go back and look at this. Look at what Jada Pinkett Smith is saying about Will Smith. Hold tight. Hold tight. So, even though we're talking about Meg Thee Stallion and Torey Lanez, it goes back to what I was trying to convey to you guys earlier. You can become arrested in your thought. You can become arrested in your finances. You can become arrested in your spirit when you deal with the wrong woman. You should only want to be with women that can elevate you and help push your mission as a man. Let's read what Jada Pinkett Smith is saying. And we knew it was going to happen, guys. I knew it was going to happen, and you knew that it was going to happen. But Jada Pinkett Smith says she wishes that Will didn't slap Chris Rock at the Oscars. They agreed he overreacted. But watch this. Could it be that she was the one that overreacted? You notice she did not take accountability for her behavior. You notice that Jada Pinkett Smith got Will Smith arrested inside his thought processes. And because he got arrested in his thought processes, now he's going to pay a fine just like Torey Lanez. And I told you guys once before in the past, a righteous woman will protect your ego as a man. A righteous woman will not cause shame to you or your family. A wise woman builds her house, but a foolish woman tears it down. A man that likes discipline will bring himself to poverty and shame. And based on the book of ages and the book of wisdom, it's actually manifesting itself before full display. Jada Pinkett Smith is not angry with Will Smith after he slapped Chris Rock at the 2022 Oscars, but she wished he didn't get physical with the comedian. You guys see the hypocrisy of this woman. And that's why I told you guys that you should never love a woman to the point you compromise your masculinity. That's why men gotta always be in objectivity and rationality. Because see, when you love a woman and you're not operating in masculinity, you're more prone to get caught up in her emotions. And her emotions are just like the wind. She's up 1 minute, she's down 1 minute. But see, when you become a slave to her emotions, you become a slave to your own ignorance. And that's what's happening with Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. Will Smith had become a slave to his own ignorance, guys. Hold tight. Luke Cage said, I don't follow any of that dysfunctional behavior. However, it's a good illustration how two emotionally broken people can make each other crazy. Yes, ma'am, I totally agree. Luke Cage said she also needs to be given the same amount of treatment if she indeed broke the gag order. Right. But we know this is not going to happen. We know that it's not going to happen. And it continues to happen all the time, guys. We know it's not going to happen. According to the US magazine, it was in the heat of the moment, and it was him overreacting. He knows that, she said. She knows that. They're in agreement that he overreacted, a source exclusively told the Weekly about the couple's standing. But once again, where was Jada Pinkett Smith in protecting her husband? Because it's easy to say he overreacted now, but where were the people that were said that the Oscars because the coach told Will Smith, listen, don't go up there, man. You don't want to do that. See, a lot of people get you caught up in the hype, but once you get caught up in the hype and when you do something that has very negative consequences, then you're going to be the one looking like a fool. And it's unfortunate, guys. It's very unfortunate. All right, during the 94th Annual Academy Awards, Rock made a joke about girls trip star shaved head. After Pinkett Smith 50 rolled her eyes at the comment, her husband 53 approached the stage and slapped the Saturday Night Live alum. And once again, that was after Jada Pinkett Smith gave him the eye. But you see, she's not taking accountability of her role in the behavior. She is not taking accountability of her role in the behavior. She's pulling it all back on him. And you guys see it all too often. Women like Jada Pinkett Smith can have you in the grave, arrested, and also having your career destroyed. Women like Meg Thee Stallion can have you in the grave, arrested, or having your career destroyed. Because they've not been conditioned to serve you and see you as a human being that they can look up to and respect. The incident came out about 3 months after the Scream 2 actress took to social media to address her hair loss as a result of alopecia. Now at this point, I can only laugh. Y'all know I've been struggling with alopecia, and just all of a sudden one day, look at this right there, she said about her scalp via Instagram in December 2021. Now that this is going to be a little bit more difficult for me to hide, so I thought I would just share it to you all without asking questions. But you all know that Mama's going to put some rhinestones in there. I'm going to make it look like a crown. She even mocked her own hair and talked about her own hair and how she was going to mock it. But I'm not going to redo all of this, guys. There's a lot to read. But you guys get the gist of the story. You guys get the gist of the story that after this man, after it took him years to build his empire, being a young black man at the point to build his empire, now he's going to suffer the recompense of his error for allowing his woman to get in his psyche. He's going to suffer the recompense of his error for allowing his woman, guys, to get into his psyche. And that's why it's so important, guys, to get with good women. Women that are willing to guide you, women that are willing to say, baby, come back, because I don't want to see you get caught up in this foolishness. But see, when you don't have good women, guys, that are willing to guide you, then you can get caught up in the foolishness. And that's what happens not only to Will Smith, but also to Torey Lanez. Shout out to my man Top Gun for that $5 super sticker. He said these events expose how modern and on the sisterhood code my own therapist is. That's dangerous, right? And some of them don't even realize, Top Gun, that they're on the sisterhood code. Gregory Scott said this is a good example for young men to take a look at, even young women, right? To the conscious, good women that are trying to do the right thing. Since the incident, Smith apologized for his unacceptable behavior and inexcusable actions that took place during the awards show. I would like to publicly apologize to you. Chris, I was out of line. I was wrong. I'm embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. But once again, guys, they say this after this woman guided him into that negative behavior. He's saying he's sorry after he allowed his woman to guide him in negative behavior. Instead of standing firm as a man, he allowed his woman to get him in his emotions. And because his woman got him, guys, in his emotions, now he's going to suffer the recompense of bad behavior. And that's why I keep telling you guys all the time, you can never love your woman more than you love God and your purpose. You can love your woman within reason, but you cannot love her more than you love your purpose. Because if you do, then you're going to get caught up in her emotions because you're worshiping her as an idol and you're so apt to try to please her. How can you protect your woman if you're caught up in emotions yourself? You got to be the grounded one. But if you're emotional too, then how can she be protected? You can't protect her. And that's the issue that we're having there. Many modern men need other women to help protect them as it relates to their ego. But at the same time, women need men that can stand firm in their masculinity and not fall prey to her feminine whims. Shout out to my man, Gregory Scotland. Gregory Scotland said that, let me read through some of these thoughts, guys. Gregory said that if some of the women in these spaces really want to show their support for men in the manosphere, then there should be across the board heavy criticism of Jada, Megan, Aisha, and Gabrielle, etc. I agree. KP from KC5 said she just released a statement that she didn't want him to do it at Kosher. This woman is toxic as hell, and he's going to lose it all. Right. But you guys saw her laugh when he went up to do it. She could have ran up and said, no, baby, don't do it. You guys didn't hear her yell and say, don't do it, baby. But you see how they blame the other people. And that's what narcissists do. They never take ownership. They don't have any empathy for anybody else. If Will Smith don't see that this woman doesn't have his best interest, then he'll never see it. Because Jada Pinkett is not a righteous woman. She's a very selfish woman. She's very selfish. And it's unfortunate that Will Smith is going to have to suffer long term because of his woman's behaviors. Shout out to my man, MC Recovery Wellness Relapse Network. Thank you, sir, for that $5 super sticker. He said that Will Smith was constantly trying to protect her emotions and peace to fulfilling of his inner peace and sanity. His emotional band-aid is loose. I totally agree. It's very loose. And that's what men are looking for. Men are looking for women that are willing to march on Capitol Hill to change the laws. And they're looking for women that are willing to stand firm and call out some of these toxic women for very bad and very toxic behavior. And what men are saying when they do that on a consistent basis, that they can get the outcomes that they want in the relationship. But men are saying, why would I give my best if I'm not getting the best in return? And that's why, ladies, we need good women to stand firm and stand with good men and be allies to helping men deal with the struggles and the stresses that they're dealing with. So, guys, share this content. Thank you, guys, for the ones that have been sharing, but share the content. Let's get the likes up. Share this content to like-minded people as we continue to have this discussion. So, I got a compilation, guys, I want you guys to see. And we're going to talk about, as I said, the Manhood Chronicles, because the Manhood Chronicles is about men telling their stories and also men, guys, sharing their pain.
Black man
so hold tight,
wasn't out there cheating and doing black women wrong. But
what do you mean the damage we caused?
Hold on,
I
guys.
don't understand.
All right, so this is just a compilation, guys. It's a compilation about the struggles that men go through in America, the struggles that many men go through in America. And this is the Manhood Chronicles because some of you guys identify with what these men are saying. You identify with dealing with women like Meg Thee Stallion. You identify with dealing with women like Jada Pinkett Smith. You identify with not being able to find wholesome women that can help you become the better version of yourself. You guys identify with women of such ilk. Keep listening.
Every black man wasn't out there cheating and doing black women wrong. But
what do you mean the damage we caused, brother? Black women have rejected the man who tried to help them. Wanted nothing to do with them. Called them lame and corny. They wanted nothing to do with these men.
And see, guys, that's the overgeneralization that you tend to see a lot of times. We'll take good, wholesome brothers and equivocate them with the lames. We'll equivocate the good men with the small percentage of men that did hurt not only black women, but other women of color, other women of other ethnic groups as well. And see, guys, when you begin to equivocate all men as the same, then that's a thinking error. It becomes a thinking error when you equivocate all men as the same, because all men are not the same. When you more or less lock men in and say all men are responsible for the hurt and the pain that you've been through, black men, then that's a thinking error. And I would say the same thing for men to say all women. That's another thinking error because it's overgeneralization. But you begin to see through the Man Who Chronicles, guys, how many men are beginning to compare the notes and many men are beginning to share the evidence. And this man is saying some of the things that we've always heard.
You talking about Pookie and Ray Ray, you need to say that to them. Because responsible black men have been pushed aside by black women. They wanted nothing to do with the responsible black man who tried to reach out.
How many of you men consider yourself responsible black men that have been pushed aside by some women, only for them to come back later in their life wanting to deal with men just like yourself? How many of you brothers have gotten with women that did not value and honor you and respect you, but they equivocated you with all the women that you see now in modern times? If you've been through that, hit 1 and tell me how did you respond to it? Because many men are beginning to say the same thing as it relates to relationships and as it relates to growth. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. If you can't get a woman to honor you, if a woman does not honor you on a consistent basis, once she loses respect for you as a man, it's gonna be hard for her to see you the same again. And that's why you must always operate in a place of strength when it comes down to your woman. You must always realize that your worship towards your creator and your more or less, when it comes down to your purpose, will supersede everything else. And a woman that's a conscious woman will guide you and assist you on your mission because that's how she was raised. But my heart goes out to many of the Zennial and Millennial men. I'm talking about the good young men, not the ones that are reckless, not the ones that are getting women pregnant and not taking care of their responsibilities. But I'm talking about the good, hardworking young men that go to school, that work hard, and when they try to show love to some of the modern women, they push them aside. That's what I'm talking about. Hold tight.
You need to be talking to somebody else. That is all.
Ladies, these men on here throwing fits because they know they have lost control of us.
First things first, we never had control of you. But second and more importantly, y'all ain't got control of us as long as we stay single. Because see, once guys get married, then y'all can really cut up. Y'all can cut up, do whatever you want to, because not only can y'all get out of control, but guys can lose their assets. They're not going to win in a divorce. Hey, we already know that. So if you get married and they cut up, you can lose your shit. But if you stay single, guess what? You lose nothing but tell them to get out your life and you just go find you somebody else and get your balls drained and keep them drained like I do. These balls will stay drained. Guys, you remember me from my last account now. These balls will stay drained and you got to worry about it. You won't lose shit.
What you guys think about people saying that, many of our women are out of control? Are they out of control? If they are out of control, is a byproduct of what men have allowed? Or is the government that have allowed some, not all, modern women to be out of control? What does out of control behavior look like for many modern women? What does it look like? And what are the repercussions for the community and also families long term? What are the repercussions for the community, guys, and families long term? Because men need women that can honor them and cherish them as men. But what are the repercussions long term if we continue to see these behaviors manifest?
So we need to discuss this Chris Brown situation. If those that don't know, young lady he had sex with approximately a year ago. She kept hitting him back, hitting him. He was not responsive. And he didn't want to deal with her anymore for whatever reason, right? She all of a sudden said, oh, it was sexual assault. Well, he produced the receipts. He had all the text messages of her saying whatever, right? So she lied. What should happen to a woman that accuses a man of sexual assault and it comes out that she just...
So once again, not only was sexual assault, but it goes back to Meg Thee Stallion. She accused Torey Lanez of inflicted physical harm, but it was shown to be a lie. It was shown to be a lie when Meg Thee Stallion accused Torey Lanez of inflicting physical harm. To the 27 that are watching, as we're talking about this story about being arrested, the ones that are watching, you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. So also to the ones that are watching, you guys are doing a good job, hit the notification buttons. About 72% of my people get all notifications, 27 don't get notifications. So I need everybody to hit all notifications. If you have not hit it, want to make sure that YouTube is not suppressing content, because many times these stories that we talk about, guys, are not more or less advantageous to the broader society. These shows are designed to empower men and women, the women that want to see men be healthy and also see men healed. But men can't get healed when they're focused into silence. Keep listening.
Lied. Not her opinion, not anybody being drunk. She knows it was consensual, and she just lied. What should happen?
So what should happen to women that lie on men? What should happen to women that lie on men and their predecessors? What should happen? Rashad Malcolm Tillman said it started with the government starting with welfare, which required men to be out of the house. And that's also often. Top Gun said these women are allowed to imitate us with zero consequences. I totally agree, sadly. And we begin to see it happen, guys, many times. We see it happening many times, sadly.
When Tyrese had a mental breakdown online in regards to not seeing his daughter in 2 years.
And see, guys, as you guys are beginning to see, the Manhood Chronicles is not just a black man issue. It's a white man issue as well. Western men are talking about the same issues. Men's mental health matters. That's why I do these shows. Because many times we don't talk about male mental health. We minimize it and we tell men to suck it up. But as this young man is saying, when Tyrese was going through his mental episodes, many people laughed at and mocked Tyrese. But sadly, when our women go do their mental episodes, many times nothing is said or heard.
People laughed at him and he became a meme. When Kanye West had a mental breakdown on TV, people called him crazy and he too became a meme. The world watched Will Smith listen to his wife tell him lied that she had an affair. People laughed at Will. He too became a meme. Yet
you guys see it all too often. When men go through trauma, when men go through pain, when men go through sexual abuse, when men go through any abuse, it's always minimized. Male mental health issues are minimized, sadly. But many times when it comes down to our women, their issues are actually magnified. Men don't have safe havens to go to process their thoughts and their pain. And when they don't have places to go to process their thoughts and their pain, then they turn inward. And that inward turning can turn to an explosion. And see, some of you guys, the Angry Man was on my show last Saturday. He talked about he just needed somebody or places to share and dump. But many times men are not encouraged to share their story. Many men are not encouraged to share their pain. And see, when people come into men's spaces, sometimes the things that they hear, they might not like it. But it's not that these men have a nefarious predisposition with modern women. They're just more or less frustrated with the things that they've been through. And because what they've been through, they're beginning to emote what they've been through because of the hurt and the pain from the past. When you think about R. Kelly, the trauma that he went through, he was molested by others. But see, we don't talk about the pain that R. Kelly went through. Even though what R. Kelly did, he's a monster, but R. Kelly was not always R. Kelly. He was Robert at one point. But what turned Robert Kelly into R. Kelly? But see, we don't talk about that. We minimize it for some reason. I don't know where this crap is coming from, man. Hold tight, guys. Yeah, I don't know where this mess is coming from. It's on spam. Don't know where the heck it's coming from. Yeah. Send me your information. I'll look it up, KP for KC5, man, so I can put you as one. I'm gonna definitely put you as one because this spam is annoying, man. I don't know where it's coming from, but it says it was blocked. But anyway, back to point.
Folks wonder why men don't want to open up about their mental health.
So I want you guys to talk about the things or the times. I need 3 people to tell a story in the inbox about the times that you went through mental health. The times when your mental health was arrested, just like Torey Lanez is having his mental health arrested, and how you were treated. And this load the question. How were you treated when your mental health was impacted in a negative way? Were you laughed at and mocked or was your mental health minimized? I want you guys to talk about it in the section. I'm going to read it. What happened when you were going through mental distress, whether it be from a relationship, whether it be from abuse? What did you men deal with? How did people treat you? Did people tell you to get over it? Did they minimize your distress? Did they encourage you? Or did they more or less tell you to get over it? So I want you guys to talk about it for me. Tell me what you guys went through as it relates to mental distress. Tell me what you guys went through. Because it's unfortunate that when men go through what they go through, many times when they go through what they go through, no one is there to hear them, and no one is there to understand their stories or their pain. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because everybody should have a place to share their story, and everybody should have a place to share their pain. Max Soul of Excellence said that try to give him weed. Man, that's funny. They tried to give you weed. But did you feel like they were open to what you were going through, or did you feel like they minimized on what you were going through, brother? Did you brothers feel like they were open to what you were going through? Did they try to console you in your pain? Or did they just minimize what you were going through as a man? Because many times men feel like their stories are being minimized. Many men feel like that many don't console them in their pain. But many feel like when they go through what they go through, that many times their pain is actually minimized. And that minimization comes at a very dangerous time for many men. It comes at a very dangerous time for many men. Hold tight. Let me see if I can find it. Hold tight. All right, let me see if I can. All right. All right, I got you in, KP from KC5, man. You're moderating there, brother. I got you in. So you are moderating there, KP from KC5. So I got you in, brother. Thank you. Latula helped better, right? That's a drug, no doubt. Troy said that, Top Gun said that minimize, shame, and sign language to children to oblivion was ignored. Shout out to my man, Clement Gray. Thank you, brother, for that $5 super chat, super sticker. He said that Kosher Jada ready girl who like what he did and women of their ilk are nothing more than gutter rats. No protection needed, right? Yeah, you can't protect women like Jada and Meg the Stallion. You can't protect women like that because women like that are dangerous. Women like that are very dangerous. You can't protect women like that because they're very dangerous. And they can cause a lot of distress for you mentally and socially. Women like that are very dangerous guys. And that's why you got to put yourself in a predicament where you can find women that will support you as a man. Women that will support your mission as a man as well. KP from KC5, I got you in, brother, so you can help moderate, help Troy. My man Tim and Top Gun, I moderate. I appreciate it, KP from KC5. All right. So let's get back to it. And then we're going to drop the link, guys. We're going to have a discussion, all right? Yeah, you're right, Max. Protect your mental health, fellas. No one would do it for you but you, right? Clement, you become a moderator by, I can look you up, and once I look you up, I'll put your name in, you'll get a wrench. So hold tight, let me look you up, because I need some more moderators, man. I appreciate Tim and everyone else. I appreciate Tim and everyone else. And guys, share this content. Well, when I do stories like this, sadly, it causes some to get frustrated, man. You know, I take a risk doing stuff like this because sadly, many don't want to see you guys liberated. I don't know why, because when men are liberated, our women are liberated as well. Liberation is a duality that benefits men and women. But sadly, I guess others don't see it that way. And it's okay. It's okay, guys. It's okay. All right, so hold tight. Let me see. All right, let me pull another one in. Hold tight. Right, so I got Clement in. All right, so I got you. All right, so I got you, Clement. All right. So I got two new moderators, Clement and KP from KC5. So thank you, guys. And thank you, Tim Howard as well. Tim, Top Gun, Clement Gray, KC from KP5. I appreciate it, brother. I need consistent moderators to help me do this. You know, and I appreciate you guys, especially Top Gun helping out. But I got some new moderators to help, so I appreciate it, brothers. All right, so T Leaves too said, when it come down to problems I had dating, when I explain what happened to me, it's taken as a joke. They always lack understanding. Right. I totally agree, brother. And it's sad. Many do lack understanding. Many don't care. Many just see you as a means to an end, sadly. And, you know, guys, it's so good to have good women like Luke Hazley and Lulu Bean and, you know, Miss Parker and other sisters, you know, because as I told you guys, there are some people that come into these circles not trying to understand where men are coming from. But they come into these circles, try to subvert, and when they don't hear what they like, what they want to hear, then, you know, they either leave or they continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. And like I say, yeah, I don't know where this stuff is coming from. Don't know where the spam is coming from. Don't know where it's coming from. But anyway, I can't worry about it. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but anyway.
You want to know what one of the worst pains you can experience is? Getting hurt by someone you've told and explained your pain to. Getting hurt by someone who knows your past and knows how broken and how vulnerable you are. Yet they do the exact same thing that they said they would never do. That breaks my heart.
So how many of you guys have poured your heart out to women? How many of you guys have poured your heart out to people that you thought had your best interests? Only, guys, to see the pain and the stories that you told, more or less, have it thrown back in your face as a man. How many have you shown and given love to, but they took that love and threw it back into your face? How many of you men have been through that? How many of you brothers, young men and all men, have been through stories of pain and hurt? They knew what your story was. They knew what your pain was. But they took it and used it against you. And see, just like what this young man is going through, it's synonymous to what Torey Lanez and a lot of men are going through, Will Smith. You tell them the secrets of your heart, but many times those secrets that you tell them about, they use it against you. And see, men can't be vulnerable. And so when a man can't be vulnerable, he's hopeless. And once he's hopeless, he becomes broken. Once he becomes broken, he becomes very dangerous because he's not functioning at his holistic self. And it's sad, and it's also, God's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Khalil John said, bros, lots. Ex-wife, mother, women I dated and opened up to. Wow, that's sad, man. That's sad. Ex-wife, mother, and women I've dated and opened up to, right. They take what you give them and they use it against you. But you wonder why men are beginning to look outside of where they're at. You wonder why men are beginning to say, I need a woman that can protect me and protect my ego as a man. Guys, let's get the stream up to about 40 to 50 tonight. That'll be a good stream for the night. I know it's on a Monday, on a Tuesday. But let's get the stream up to about 50 tonight, guys. Let's get it up to about 50 if you can. We're not going to be on the stream long, but if you can get up to 50, it will be perfect. I need at least 5 people to share this stream. Like I said, when we do shows like this, guys, numbers drop. I don't know why, but anytime you talk about shows, when it comes down to empowering men, it's always an issue. And I've always said, if you want to get protection from a man, if you want protection from a man, you got to protect him by allowing him to be a man. You got to protect him by allowing him to be vulnerable. Just like what this young man went through. You got to allow him to be vulnerable as a man. And Top Gun said that his started at home too. Greg Scott said, Coach, I really appreciate how you stated firmly and clear the other night that you were open to women coming on the platform, but you need to understand that they're not going to change the message. Yes, I appreciate that, right. And sadly, since that point, I don't know if the same ones that unsubscribed, but when I stated my point, guys, you know, I'm not surprised that some did unsubscribe from my channel. And that's fine. See, I don't mind good women coming in like the Luke Cases of the world, the Lulu Beans, the Miss Parkers. I don't mind those women because, see, I'm going to always be unapologetically masculine. This space is dedicated to men being masculine and sharing their stories, and women coming in to understand what men are going through so that they can empower themselves to understand what men are going through so they can be better wives for their husbands and their boyfriends. But see, when you don't understand what men are going through and you always minimize his story or you try to change the trajectory to more or less help meet your own selfish narrative, then guess what? Men can't become the better versions of themselves. This is a channel that's dedicated for men by men, and also to help good women understand how men think. But once again, we can't become better versions of ourselves if no one don't understand how we become arrested. Like Torey Lanez was arrested because he was more or less sabotaged by an unworthy woman. Now Will Smith is going to be arrested in his mind, but also arrested with his finances because he defended a woman like Jada. And that's why I told you guys early, and that's why I told you guys once before, Will Smith should have never done what he did to Jada for Jada Pinkett Smith, because she now saying she wished she hadn't have done it. And to the people that are coming in, look at this, guys. But in the meantime, let me give a special shout out to my man, James Turner. Thank you, James Turner. I appreciate it, brother. You are an awesome brother. Just showing love, brother. I appreciate it, Mr. Turner. And that is a deal, right? I appreciate it, Turner. You are awesome, brother. You're always showing love, man. I appreciate that. But let's go back to the screen, guys. Let's go back to the screen, and you guys can see it for yourselves. Will Smith, Jada Pinkett said that she wished that Will Smith hadn't done what he did. And everybody was saying that he should have protected her and he protected his woman, but she was never in danger. And look what standing up for Jada Pinkett, look what it gets Will Smith, nothing. Look what it got him, guys, nothing. Nothing. Nothing but loss of career, loss of money, not loss of career, but shame on his career and shame on everything that he did. Jada Smith regrets what Will Smith did. But guys, she was the main one cheering him on. That's why I keep telling you guys, you can't take these chicks serious. You can't take them serious. She says she wishes that Will Smith didn't slap Chris Rock. But remember, guys, some of you were saying that, he was supposed to protect his woman. And look at what protecting his woman got him. And I agree with you. I won't be surprised if she decides to leave him as well. I won't be surprised. I knew she was going to throw him under the bus because I understand female nature. Jada Pinkett Smith, you guys see it for yourself, wishes Will Smith didn't slap Chris Rock at the Oscars. They agreed that he overreacted. And that's why I kept telling you guys over and over again. It was not worthy of him, guys, putting his livelihood online, putting his name online, and also putting his mission online, all for a woman that is not worthy of protection. Jada Smith does not deserve the protection of Will Smith. She does not deserve it. And that Will Smith, guys, is going to suffer because he listened to his feelings instead of listening to rationality. His wife was not in danger. It was a soft joke. But Jada Pinkett Smith wishes Will Smith didn't slap Chris Rock at the Oscars. And they both agreed that they overreacted. Now he's going to lose money. He's going to lose time. As these all are elements for the consequences, sadly, that Chris Rock must deal with. Hold tight.
However she wishes. How does Jada Pinkett Smith feel after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars? Well, we've got all the details in today's Stallion. The source tells us it was in the heat of the moment.
Hold tight, guys. Hold tight. Fair use. Let me put fair use. Hold tight. Guys, yeah. You guys can block those bots, man. I don't know where it's coming from. I've never had these bots be so vicious. But fair use, guys. All right, fair use. All right. And you're right, Khalil Johnson. Will don't leave her. I fear that he'll end up becoming a tragedy of murder/suicide. He has to leave her. And that's all I was trying to say, guys. Once you understand bad female nature and bad female behavior, you'll never see women the same. We're not talking about good women. We're not talking about wholesome women. We're not talking about traditional women. Because traditional women and conscious women realize they got to always work on their behavior unless they, become a saboteur of their own ignorance. But like T. King said, it's going to cost them money. And like Max Soul said, she expected him to do something. That's why she looked this way, right? But that's why you can't always get caught up in the feelings of a woman. There was no imminent threat for him to do what he did. There was no imminent threat. But there he's going to lose money and time because he got engulfed in his woman's feelings instead of getting engulfed in what's called masculinity as a man. And it's unfortunate, guys. It's very unfortunate. He defended somebody that did not defend him as a man. He protected a woman that did not protect him as a man. And that's sad. And I agree with everybody. He needs to divorce her. He needs to divorce her, and he needs to leave her expeditiously. But you guys are seeing it. That's why so many of the men were saying what they were saying. Because men are not against protecting quality women. Men are not against protecting quality women. But men are against protecting women that do not benefit them long-term as a man. To the new guys that popped in, he says he's not angry with Will Smith after he slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, but he wished he didn't get physical with the comedian. It was in the heat of the moment that caused him to overreact. He knows that, and she knows that. They're in an argument where he overreacted, a source said exclusively. U.S. Weekly about where the couple stands now. And see, what Will guys are going to deal with is something called trauma by proxy. Trauma by proxy to him defending the honor of a woman that was not worthy of his honor, but also dealing with trauma by proxy as it relates to his father and the things that they went through. And that's what's going to happen, guys, long term. And it's sad, and this is unfortunate. You guys know how long it takes for us, you guys as men, to build your careers, whether you black or white, but especially black men in America, because we're always under the microscope and always under scrutiny. Sometimes it takes years to repair yourself. Will Smith at one point, guys, was broke. And it took years for Will Smith to get back to where he's at. It can take years to build your house, but only 5 seconds to tear it down. And that's why you got to always think outside of your feelings. That's why you got to vet the woman that you're dealing with properly so that you don't become a slave of your emotions. And that's what happens, guys. A lot of men are slaves to their emotions. They are slaves to their emotions because they defend the honor of a woman that did not defend them. In the clinical world, guys, we call it a paradoxal directive because it goes contrary to the opinion. A paradoxal directive says to do one thing. So if you're dealing with a person that got that want to hurt themselves, the paradoxal directive says, well, go ahead and hurt yourself. And basically what it does, it helps them restructure their negative thought processes. But it's paradoxal. I knew it because I'm very, how can I say it? I understand female nature. I knew she was going to throw him under the bus. Because, see, she has narcissistic traits, and this relationship doesn't benefit her. I knew she was going to do it. And like T. King said, Will defended her pride and ego, but not her honor, right? And now you guys are beginning to see it in full display. She's saying after the fact, I wish he hadn't done what he did. Well, you should have been thinking about that when your husband walked up front and slapped him. You should have grabbed him by the hand and said, baby, don't do it. You guys didn't hear her scream and say, baby, don't do it. It's not worth it. She didn't because she gave him that evil eye. She gave him the evil look. But then she's playing the victim like so many models, like the Meg the Stallions, and she had Torey Lanez arrested. And now Jada has Will Smith development arrested based on her own selfish needs and her toxic ego. And you guys are seeing the full display. Hold tight. In full display. All right, hold tight.
Now, like I said in my last video, this is the new thing that black women have been doing this week. They'll ask their boyfriends, husbands, people they're dating, however you want to call the relationship, will you fuck a motherfucker up if they say something about me or laugh at me that's something that's disrespectful? And most of the men are like, well, you know, we'll check a motherfucker for saying something to you along those lines, but we're not about to sit up here and fight, incite violence.
Do you guys see where I'm going to what this brother's saying? That's why you guys have to be rational, like Rollo Tomasi said. He wrote a book called Irrational Male. That's why you men have to be rational at all times. That's why you need women that are going to support you, that are going to help you stay rational. You need a woman that's disciplined in her emotions to help you stay logical. Because listen to what this brother is saying. Toxic women cause toxic problems. And it causes you guys to have what I'm talking about tonight, the Manhood Chronicles. And it's unfortunate, guys.
Violence when somebody didn't incite violence to me, and their typical response to most of these answers has been calling that black man weak, soft, pathetic, whatever. Ladies, like I said in the beginning of the week, black women do nothing but all day cry and scream and whine about how black men are dangerous, how dangerous we are to women, how you're an endangered species because of violent, terrorizing black men. Now you want black men to be violent for your benefit. Make it make sense. Somebody, please.
Make it make sense. And it doesn't make sense. That's why I say over and over again, guys, it's not justified to put your life or your livelihood on the line when there's no imminent threat of violence. The worst that Will Smith could have done was stood up and cursed Chris Rock out. But even that wasn't merited, in my opinion, because it was a soft joke. And that's what comedians do. It's just part of being a comedian. But now, once again, this man has lost his livelihood. He's lost his status in society. Not his livelihood, but he's lost some of his prominence because he defended the honor or the so-called honor of a woman that was not worthy of it. A woman that constantly disrespects him, A woman that constantly violates him in public. A woman that constantly does it. But some of these toxic women, there's some good women that said that she was wrong, but there's a percentage of these toxic women that say you need to protect a woman like Jada Pinkett Smith. Tiffany Haddish, as toxic as she is, she said that, girl, men need to protect their family. But what was he protecting? Where was she at to protect him? How did she not get him arrested? Will Smith has been arrested so many times by Jada Pinkett Smith's behavior that he's in a state of turmoil, and he's also in a state of distress. And it's unfortunate, guys. It's very unfortunate. Shout out to KP from MC Wellness, Recovery Wellness and Relapse Network. I appreciate the guy for that $5 super sticker. Thank you, MC Recovery Wellness and Relapse Network. He said, living in a reactor of Jada's chronic emotional malady, toxic turmoil relationship. Yes, it is a very toxic turmoil relationship, brother. Very toxic. And always in a state of turmoil. Khalil Johnson said that at Clement Gray, he needs something deeper than just temporary physical gratification. His healing is deep, and it's going to take work for him to heal. Yes, I totally agree. It's going to take a lot of work for him to heal. A lot of work, guys, a lot of work. T. King said, from a self-defense or legal point of view, you can only react with equal force. Right. You're exactly right. That's why people kept saying, he should, no, you don't, it's force for force. He didn't slap his wife. She was not in danger. See, you can lose your life, guys. You can have your livelihood destroyed in a matter of seconds. Some of you guys got master's degrees. How many guys in the chat got master's degrees or advanced degrees? I need you guys to hit 1. If you got a master's degree or a PhD, I need you to hit 1. If you have a bachelor's degree, I need you to hit 2. If you have an associate's degree, I need you to hit 3. If you're a blue collar and you have a certification, I need you guys to hit 4. PhD or master's, I need you to hit 1. Bachelor's degree, I need you to hit 2. Associate's degree, I need you to hit 3. Certification, I need you to hit 4. James Turner, he got a master's degree. Lou Optics got a master's degree. Contrary Expatriate, he got a bachelor's degree. MC Recovery and Relapse got a certification. So let's look at James Turner and Lou Optics for an example. It took a minimum of 4 to 7 years to get a master's degree. For myself, I have 3 degrees. Associate, master's, I was a licensed teacher. Now I'm a licensed therapist. It took me anywhere, guys, from 8 to 11 years to get where I'm at. Hard work, a lot of sweat and tears, a lot of sleepless nights, writing papers, dealing with racism, dealing with systemic barriers, dealing with gender discrimination. I went through it as a man. And you guys are meaning to tell me that you're going to put your livelihood on the line. You're going to take those 6 years of your life that you work hard for. And many times, guys, when you work hard for it, no one was there to support you. When you got your advanced degrees, no, it's not too many people that congratulated you. But you're going to take that and you're going to throw it away for a woman that's not even worthy of your protection. For a woman that's not shown herself worthy to be protected in a manner that's beneficial to you as a man. But you're going to throw it away in a matter of time. Just like Torey Lanez had his psyche arrested, just like Will Smith had his psyche arrested, look at the correlation. Torey Lanez had his psyche arrested, therefore he lost $350,000. Will Smith had his psyche arrested, therefore he lost endorsements with Netflix, Fast and Furious 4, Fast and Loose, and also he resigned from the Academy. All over something stupid. All over something that could have been avoided. When the transgender lady said what she said to Jada and Will, no one said a thing. No one said nothing. And see, I do these shows, guys, to open up your cognitions to what's really going on. Because see, people don't think about it. They don't think about your hard work. I made up in my mind, I'm not going to put my livelihood on the line to save nobody's not worthy of being saved. And my wife or children in imminent harm or danger, then I'll put my life on the line. But if I got a child or a woman that's being rebellious and disobedient as a wife, I'm not protecting anybody. Because guess what? When you do go do the damage and you end up hurting that person, when you go to jail, and you will go, she's going to either forget you after 2 to 5 years, or while you're incarcerated, she's going to be sleeping with somebody else, or a man's going to be in your house reaping the benefits of what you work hard for, or she's going to divorce you. Because if you go to prison for 5 to 10 years, the likelihood of a woman being loyal to you is slim to none. It's slim to none, guys. And see, too many therapists, guys, are not going to talk about this. Many therapists won't talk about what I'm talking about as a man. They're not going to talk about it. I don't know why, because part of being a therapist is giving men and women the right to self-determination. And like I told you guys, when I talk about men stuff, numbers drop. Folks get mad for whatever reason. But to the 36 of the watching, guys, share it. Listen, 5 people. I need 5 people to share this on social media, Instagram. Don't share it on Facebook, but Instagram or any other sites, share it. Let's get the stream up to at least 50 tonight, guys, if we can. And we're going to sign off in a few minutes. But I want you guys to see how men, when they don't have their psyche trained, that they become arrested. They become arrested in their social, mental, and financial development because they let unsavory women get inside their head. All right. So KP from KC5 said, facts, coach, and Will Smith has been working for 30 years to get to that night right. James Turner said he has a bachelor's in computer science and a master's in math. And you guys know anything about STEM field. STEM is hard. It's very hard. But this brother got a master's in computer science and a master's in math. Gregory Scotland said he got a bachelor's and a master's. We earned these things. You're right, brother. We did earn it. It was a lot of work, a lot of hard work. Lou Optics said, and a lot of your people trying to discourage you out from moving forward. Right. I totally agree. Good job, Lou Optics. He said he got a master's in educational leadership and working on a medical doctorate right now. That is powerful, brother. Kudos to you, man. Proud of you, Lou Optics. That's powerful. And see, many times when men have their accomplishments, our women don't celebrate it like they should. They don't celebrate the achievements of our men. We got a bunch of intelligent brothers in this space. And that's why I said, guys, you deserve the best. Westside College said he got a master's in audio technology and master's in integrated homeland security management. That's powerful, man. A lot of these brothers got advanced degrees. But you want these guys to settle for mediocrity. Some of these women take their advanced degrees and throw it in your face. They think, I got my master's and my doctorate. But men don't care about your degrees, sweetie. We care about how feminine you are because your degrees is not symmetrical to what most men want in a woman. The only time your degree is symmetrical to a man is when your degrees can be used to help build that man, build his family, and build his community. But besides that, men don't look at women for degrees first. We look at women based on her being a nurturer, her being feminine, her being cooperative, her being submissive, her being obedient, and her being willing to work with that man to help him fulfill his mission on earth. Because according to Hebrew theology, according to the scripture, the woman was made for the man. So if she's made for the man, then why are men bound down to her? It doesn't make any sense. See, when you go to cultures like South America and and Africa, the women know their place as women. They respect their men, and sadly, men don't get taken care of, the ones that are righteous. But that's why you guys gotta love yourselves more than you love her. Because when you don't love yourself more than you love her, then it becomes an issue. James Turner said that, Lou Optics, you can do it right. I'm proud of that, brother, man. Some good, intelligent brothers in here. A lot of these brothers are very intelligent black men. And guys, listen, as I told you guys earlier, I need 5 faithful men to share this content with other young men. Every time we do these streams, guys, I want you guys to share this content because, like I said, I don't know if it's bots, but when we do these shows, the subscribers go up and down, up and down, up and down. Don't know if it's bots. Don't know if people get mad. I don't know what it is, but I want people that's gonna rock with me, that want to rock with my message and my message of male empowerment. That's what I'm looking for. Luke Hayes says, single men do not settle for mediocrity. Look at the unicorns that I still believe exist. Yes, I agree with you, sister. I totally agree with Luke Hayes. You're right. There are some that still exist. There are some Luke Hayes in your country that still exist. There are some good women out here, guys. I know the numbers are small, but there are some good women that exist. There are some good sisters that exist. And I want you guys to get the best. I want you guys to get the best that your money can afford. If you worked hard and went to school and applied yourself, don't cast your pearls to swine. Give your pearls to good, worthy women, good traditional women that honor and respect you as a man. Don't give it to any woman. Don't have your psyche arrested by an unsavory woman. Shout out to my man Top Gun for that 5-star super stick. He said, now you're about to really see these gravy train simps are really about. That wife that applauded him for defending hung him out to dry. Yes, sir. I'm going to do a show about the gravy train simp. I'm going to do a show about the gravy train simp. That's a term that I created. A term that I created called the gravy train simp. And the gravy train simp is similar to the whole concept about a gravy train job. When a person gets a gravy train job, they think they're not going to have to put any work in. It's just going to come easy. They're going to sit back and make money and no work. When you're dealing with modern women, if you come in with a gravy train mindset, you're going to end up looking like an old hound dog. And that's what Will Smith is going to look like, and many other men. They're going to look like old hound dogs because they thought that coming in, being gravy train simps was going to give them the best benefit. And it's not. It's not at all. Gregory Scott said, yeah, that's because this is very strange that you lose numbers when you're speaking about male empowerment. Why are these women coming into the manosphere? They're opposed to our positions. Are they out to circumvent? I don't know, man. It's weird, man. But, it just proves my point that only a few are really genuine, like the Luke Cages of the world, Because if you're willing about seeing men, and see, you guys know I'm very fair. I'm very fair. But that's why I see why some men say that, sadly, some don't belong in men's spaces, unless they're conscious women, because some try to subvert what we're trying to do. I'm not being disrespectful. I don't disrespect anybody. But it is what it is, guys. I'm going to keep doing what I do as long as you guys do what you do. I'm about male empowerment because I believe when you empower men, then you empower the women. Because when women understand what men want, then men can give women what they need, which is love and guidance and direction. But many folks are not ready for these kind of mature conversations, man. And that's why I tell you guys over and over and over again to get women that support and meet your mission. Don't settle for mediocrity like Luke Casey said. Get with submissive, cooperative women that meet your objectives. If she doesn't meet your standards, don't waste your time dealing with it. Get with quality women that meet your standards. Because guess what? When they come into the relationship, they think that they are the prize. So that's what you men need to get with. And I appreciate it, Westside College. I appreciate it. And you're right, Luke Casey. She immediately threw him under the bus. Right. And that's what narcissists do. They have no empathy and they don't take ownership because they can't see themselves. They have the Medusa complex. Can't see themselves and not going to take ownership because they don't care. I appreciate all the brothers to share it. I appreciate it. All right, hold tight.
Me. Women.
Now, you guys see this woman. I did this intentionally because YouTube is funny about certain things. So, but if you guys look below, this woman has on bikinis. She has on bikini panties, but she's saying that women want men to honor, respect them. But look how disrespectful she is. She's tatted up, but also not only being tatted up, she have on bikinis, guys. Talking about women want respect. Women of old knew that in order to get a good man, you had to be an honorable and a respectful woman. But chicks like her don't get it. Chicks like her do not get it, guys. She don't get it. But listen, look at this chick. Watch this, guys.
Women are tired of giving it their all.
Look at this. She said women are tired of giving it their all. She got on tats, but on the top of that, guys, she got on bikinis. But she said men are tired of giving it their all.
And not getting anything in return, but hurt, pain, and suffering. They just want your love, protection.
She wants love and protection from a man, but she's not conducting herself, guys, like an honorable woman. She's conducting herself like a 304. She got on, bikini pants. Look at her, guys. Look at her.
And affection. Don't be sending her no text messages. She wants you to show up and be all you can be. Love her equally.
She wants love and attention, but yet she has not been conditioned to love and honor you as a man. She won't love guys as it relates to her feelings, but she has not been conditioned to love and honor you as a man. So if you're going to protect her, who's protecting you? And see, that's what they don't want to talk about. Bill Bridge Builder says, salute, brother. I like you have worked in the mental health field for 30 plus years myself and seen the writing on the wall in the early 90s. You need this platform. You need this platform, damn brother. Great job. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you, Bridge Builder. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. It's a tough job, man, but somebody got to do it. Gregory, they know that brothers like the Angry Man, Coach of the Angry Man, the Roger Report, Brother Dean Cameron Sanders are numerous others waking up men to be strong men. They're scared of that. Ship in, ship out is what's left, right? And you're right, Luke Casey. Where's the wedding ring? I agree with you. She won a wedding ring, but she's dressed provocative. And I had to move it down because, YouTube sometimes, if something looks provocative, they give you a copyright strike. And so I moved that down intentionally. But listen to what this woman said again.
Her no text messages.
When you guys look at this woman, she got on panties, guys, bikini panties. Is this woman a quality woman? Is this a woman that you would consider to be your wife and the mother of your children? With a tattoo on her arm and having bikinis on.
She wants you to show up and be all you can be. Love her.
I'd whip Will Smith ass. I know you. I would have whipped. He'd have had to whip me, or I'd have had to whip him. And every time I see him, it's on sight.
And just like Shannon Sharp is saying, Will Smith put himself in a predicament where he not only disrespected himself, but he disrespected black men. And see, when you lack discipline, as I said earlier, it brings you to poverty and shame. And now once you defend a woman that's not going to defend you, you end up in jail. And at some point, she's going to either divorce him or she's going to disrespect him again in public. And I told you guys last week, I said, watch it, guys. She's going to disrespect him again in public. And she just did. She just said, I wish Will hadn't done that. But she's the one that egged him on by giving him the evil eye. You can't make it up, guys. You can't make it up.
There ain't nothing say. Hey, hold on. I'm watching him at the Vanity Fair, and Will Smith is carrying on like ain't nothing happened. And then you apologize to the Academy. After the Academy, you need to apologize to that man. Skip that. Let me tell you, there's three things, especially in our community. You say the N-word, you spit on me, and you slap me. Because if you go back when we were less than, that's what they did. They didn't punch you, they slapped you. Got it. Because that's the ultimate sign of disrespect. When you hear somebody, they don't say I'm gonna punch you, they say I'm gonna slap the you know what out of you. Because that's the ultimate sign of disrespect.
The ultimate sign of disrespect. When Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, he basically slapped every black man in America. And what he did, he reinforced negative stereotypes that we're violent and very virulent. That's what he did. But he didn't realize it. And it's unfortunate.
You want to hear a double standard between men and women? Why are women allowed to talk about the traits that they want in a partner? A provider, successful, huge wallet. But when a man expresses what he wants, a beautiful woman, someone who's feminine, who can cook, they would get slammed for it.
Right. When it comes down to men getting their needs met, it's misogynistic. But, when she want to get her needs met, then all of a sudden it's not a problem. You guys see the dichotomy thinking in many modern women. And, like Tim Howard said, save yourself, black man. Just focus on yourself. Just focus on yourself. Focus on your money and your time. If you can't find your wife here, go abroad, man, because you guys are beginning to see it full screen that it's hard to find quality women, sadly, here in America. It's hard. It's getting harder and harder to find. Harder and harder to find, guys.
But they say Sweden is now the country with the highest percentage of Thai wives.
And it's funny because Sweden.
Now, remember Richard Mack. Richard Mack talked about going abroad to get wives. In Sweden, they have an issue where the men are actually going to Thailand to get wives to bring them back to Sweden. But the women are getting upset because the men are getting Thai wives. And see, this is what a lot of westernized women do, white or black, it doesn't matter. They don't want to change, but yet at the same time, they don't want to see you guys happy. I'm going to say it again. They don't want to change, but they don't want to see you happy. Because you being happy is antithetical to their selfishness. You're not feeding that narcissistic supply. A woman that's very nurturing and empathetic is going to always put her husband's well-being in the forefront. But that's what happens. And when you got good women that try to speak up, like I said, they call the good women mammies, or pygmies as a way to make them suffer in silence as well. And the machine is constantly eating itself. And you guys are seeing it firsthand.
Is actually an all pretty much feminist, run.
All the Scandinavian countries are pretty much like that.
Yo, they're gonna have to be. Right now, the feminists are punching air right now. Like they're literally like this.
I believe that they trying to push the ban from the guy marrying the woman. So they're pushing the visa ban. So it's like they start the movement, So they start the movement so they can ban the spouse visa on foreign.
They are upset and frustrated that American men are beginning to look at women outside of America. That the Swedish men are looking for Thai women because Thai women are traditional, they're feminine, and they come into a relationship willing to serve their men. To all the good brothers that got masters, PhDs, bachelors, and also certifications, I want you guys to focus on women that can help you meet your mission. I want you to hold your heads up and see yourselves as the prize catchers because you are the prize catcher. If she's not willing to come into that relationship, willing to serve your honor as a man, then you don't waste your time with her. You don't sell her for mediocrity because you work too hard to get where you've gotten it only to lose it in the court system. You don't want your soul, mind, body, and spirit arrested by unsavory women. And yeah, Gregory Scotland, yeah, I do remember. Yes, I'm sure I noticed the young lady the other night, she altered your question by turning into the fact that men come up as short as marriage candidates. Right, I saw that. I did see that. Because they don't never, see, that's what liberal indoctrination does. They have what's called cognitive dissonance. They can't see themselves. They're deaf. They deny the evidence. They become enraged when you present them with the evidence. They argue, do ad hominem attacks, and they fight you and or they flee because they can't see themselves. And it's unfortunate.
3.
Oh, damn, you've been working.
Yeah.
And this is what you guys got to deal with modern women. You got to deal with a woman like this woman. Listen, guys, you got to deal with a woman like this woman. She got 3 kids with 3 different men, no accountability, blames it on the men, on her upbringing. Hold on for a minute. Where's this thing at? Hold on. She blames it on her upbringing.
Yes.
How many fathers?
I'm not gonna lie, 3. Mm-hmm.
I'm always fascinated.
And listen to the brothers that got PhDs, the brothers that got master's degrees, the brothers that got bachelors and certifications. You got a segment of society that wants you to be second in a relationship. Because see, I'm not against single mothers if the kids are grown, the kids are on their own, and they're self-sustaining. If you want to marry a woman that got kids and she's grown, like Angry Man said, the kids are grown and they're on their own, go for it. But in general, if you don't have any kids, you have a lot on the line, you work hard, it doesn't benefit you because you're going to always come second. She's going to always put her kids' needs above yours. And unless you want to be seen as a sucker, then, go ahead and do it. But there are many single women with no kids that would love to have a man like yourself. And, you keep working till you can find a woman that meet your requirements as a man, because it doesn't benefit you to get with women like that, guys. It doesn't benefit you because it's a headache. And I know many guys that had their lives in order and their lives in check, unless she's a special woman, and that's rare. Every single mom is not the same, but in general, they are the same. There are some outliers that are good women, but in general, it's a damn headache, and you would be a fool to waste your time, your livelihood, your money, and your resources over a woman that's going to see you as second. You can't discipline her kids because you're taking care of another man's seed. It's not your seed. Unless those kids are grown and out of the house, you're taking a big risk, guys. Shout out to Gregory Scotland for that $10 super sticker, and it is a deal right. I appreciate that, Gregory Scotland. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you, brothers, because we don't want our men to become arrested in soul, body, mind, and spirit. Shout out to my man, Christopher Law, for that $5 super sticker. Thank you, Christopher Law. I appreciate it, gentlemen. You guys are awesome. You guys are doing a lot for me. I appreciate it, man. One thing I love about you brothers, man, we don't have a big stream tonight, but You guys do come through. And guys, I'm going to get this channel up to 4,000 subs at some point. But I want my channel to be homegrown. I want my channel to be grown with good sisters like Luke Casey, like Sweet Lulu Bean, Miss Parker Back to Basics, and good women that are traditional women that are trying to learn and understand black men. Luke Casey is an awesome woman. I see her going to these spaces supporting black males and black male content. She's one of the few, and she really contributes. She contributes. I've seen her work. She does a good job supporting the family and the community, because the time is going to come, guys, when the barbarians will come at the door, where your voices will be silenced, where my voice might be silent too. And then what are you going to do? So guys, I need you to fortify your minds and your spirits and focus on yourself and start loving yourselves and start getting with women that can help you build your inner sanctum as a man. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Top Gun said, getting the modern woman to be accountable is as easy as turning the line to a V. Man, you're right, brother, sadly. You are right, sadly, Top Gun. You turn the line to a vegan. That's funny as hell.
They don't want to one with 3 kids, but why? Just how does that happen?
Honestly, I'm a chop it up to my personal childhood.
Okay.
I had both parents not really involved, not the proper guidance, and when it came to decision making,
3 kids by 3 men, but you're blaming it on your parents, when in actuality, it's just really common sense. You can raise a girl in a good family, she still can go astray. 3 kids by 3 different men, but she said because her parents. Make it make sense, guys.
I didn't have the best decision making experiences. My kids are a good bit apart in age range. So I have a 9-year-old, 4-year-old, and then an 11-month-old. So it wasn't back to back. It was spaced.
Yeah. What do your children's fathers do?
One's an entrepreneur, I'm not going to lie. One of them actually is doing something with himself, but the other 2, one's not involved.
And that proves our points once again. These women get with a small percentage of dusty, irresponsible black men, and they equivocate all black men with the sorry percentage that they more or less chose. It's a thinking error called overgeneralization, where they equivocate all black men and cement and symmetry to the top toxic black men that they actually got with. You can't make this stuff up, guys. You can't make it up. Hold tight.
Honestly, I'm a chop it up to my personal childhood.
Okay.
I had both parents not really involved, not the proper guidance. And when it came to decision making, I didn't have the best decision making experiences. My kids are a good bit apart in age range. So I have a 9-year-old, 4-year-old, and then an 11-month-old. So it wasn't back to back. It was spaced.
Yeah. What do your children's fathers do?
One's an entrepreneur, I'm not going to lie. One of them actually is doing something with himself, but the other 2, one's not involved.
One thing I cannot wrap my head around is a nonchalant dude. Like, do you even care? Like, why aren't you obsessed with me? Why aren't you pouring your heart out to me, breaking your ankles to get next to me? Like, this is...
Good afternoon.
Breaking your ankles to get next to her. And that's why I tell you guys, it's, in the clinical world, we call it contraindicated. When you put her needs above your needs, then she's going to be less prone to look up to you. A woman should be always looking up to her man. That makes her want you even more. But when you're indifferent, that makes her want you more. It's weird. When you chase her, she doesn't respect you as much because it's not a challenge. But when you're not paying her attention, then she wants you even more. That's the weird thing about it.
Good evening, everybody. So, Queen, to answer your question, the reason we don't do this anymore is because we have done this too many times, and it has been thrown in our face. We've been told we're desperate. We've been told we weird, we creepy, we stalkerish. We've tried to get to know you. We've tried to get close to you. Offer to either blow up in our face, we get done dirty, or you push us away. So now we're taking a step back and we're seeing if you're willing to engage. And if you're not, then I guess we at a standstill. But we're no longer putting ourselves out there to be subjected to this kind of hurt, pain, or embarrassment. Sorry. Have a blessed one.
Right. Men are beginning to open up. Men are beginning to see the world for what it is. So we're going to drop the link for about 5 minutes, guys. Then we're going to sign off. I have to go. But I wanted to talk about this Torey Lanez story and how you guys, if you're not careful, you can become arrested. Your development and your finances can become arrested with unsavory women like Torey Lanez, and also unsavory women like, I can't think of her name, Jada Pinkett Smith. And I got another good show coming up soon, guys, that you guys are going to like, so be on standby. All right, so we're going to call in, guys, for a minute. Call in. Going to drop the link for about next 5 or 10 minutes. And we're going to talk about solutions because, guys, solutions are very important if we as men are going to get the outcomes that we want. What do you guys think about this Torey Lanez situation and Meg Thee Stallion? And once again, this is the part of the show when we do what, guys? This is the part of the show where we find solutions. All right, so the link has been dropped. What are the solutions for professional black men as it relates to toxic women like Meg Thee Stallion? And what are the solutions, guys, as it relates to women like Jada Pinkett Smith? I think I know what the answer is, but I want to hear what you guys are saying for the next 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to sign off because I have to go. All right, so the link has been dropped. Yes, sure might, no doubt, sure might. Sure Mike, Man, Raekwon, and Day Day. So the link has been dropped, guys. What are the solutions moving forward, brethren? Esteemed brethren, what are the solutions moving forward? What are the solutions? What do you guys think about the stream? How is the stream beneficial? Tim Howard is saying, save yourself, black man, get on that plane and travel to increase your odds. We know that traveling abroad is no guarantee that you're going to get to talk to a woman, but the odds are greater. So what are the solutions? That's one of them. It's fortifying your mind and traveling abroad. That's one of them. I appreciate it, Bridge Bill. I will look at that at some point, man. I will look at it at some point. But definitely look at it at some point. Talking about conflict resolution. So the link has been dropped, guys. You guys want to come on and have a conversation real fast before I sign off, feel free. What are the solutions, guys, moving forward? Because there are young men that are watching. There are men that have a lot of accolades. And I appreciate the KP for KC5. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the shout out. But what are the solutions, guys, moving forward? And you're right, Ismail. There are 54 countries in Africa. I'm just saying. And South Africa is one of those countries. They have a lot of beautiful, for you single men, beautiful, fine African women in South Africa. And to the men that want wives, a lot of them are virgins. So you guys can travel to South Africa and get you a black bride. Sweet Lulu Bean country is full of beautiful women. There are beautiful women also in other parts of the country as well. My mission, guys, is for you guys to get the best bang for your buck. I want to see you young men happy, living your lives on your own terms, free of distress, free of shame, free of guilt. If you work hard and put in the work, just like they say, I deserve, well, you got the right to say you deserve too. You should start saying, I deserve a good woman. I want you men to start saying every day that I deserve a good woman. If you've done the work, only if you've done the work. If you haven't done the work, don't talk about I deserve a good woman. But if you've done the work, I want you to say, I deserve a good woman. My man, Westside Colic, my brother from Texas. What's going on, young man?
How you doing there? How you doing there? Checking in, man.
Yeah, man, I'm glad, man. I love your energy, man. I saw you on Mirror's channel, and I love your energy. I'm going to do a show soon just talking about those things. You know, you're an intelligent brother. You know, you're highly educated, man. I didn't realize we had as many brothers on the stream that had the advanced degrees, man. But when you think about women like Meg Thee Stallion, Westside Colic, and when you think about unsavory women like Jada Pinkett Smith that's caused the demise of her husband, Will Smith, what's more or less percolating inside your head, man, to say I told you so? Because I knew it was going to happen. I knew she was going to throw him under the bus. But what's your take on it based on what you've seen?
You can have all the money in the world, all the education in the world, but if you don't know how to deal with your sexual emotions, how to deal with your, I'm gonna say it just like this, I'm gonna say it wide open, how to deal with your sperm, where you put it, who you put it in, who you give your attention and time into in terms of women. All this education, all this knowledge about this money, this, that, and the third, it doesn't matter. A woman, if you allow it, can take down your whole kingdom within a millisecond.
Right. Yes, sir. In a millisecond. Right. And that's why I kept saying over and over again, Westside College, a wise woman builds her house, but a foolish woman tears it down. But yet she never took ownership. She never said, you know what? I should have never looked at my husband. She never said, I should have told him, baby, come back, don't do it. But the only thing she said, I just wish he wouldn't have done it. But what role did you play in it? Because if she hadn't gave him the dirty look, Will would have never done it. Will would have never done it. But see, you got women that want men to deal with toxic women like some of these modern women that are dealing with now. And Westside College, you're in your 30s, I believe. I think you're in your 30s.
Yes, sir.
And as a young man, what are you seeing that's so disheartening as it relates to quality women? We did a poll, and only a few, I think some of the brothers said less than 10% were wife worthy or wife ready. But, I think you're in Texas. What do you think is the reason why you see this great disparity and so many modern women, in your opinion?
Witchcraft.
Okay.
Witchcraft. The modern day woman is totally engulfed in witchcraft. Her obsession to delete and control and have a male phallus, because there's a lot of penis envy women out here too.
I agree with that.
But the power of a man they want. So therefore, if they need to rid them, therefore, if they have sons, they want to make them LBGT. These women are doing very demonic, evil things to men. And it starts in the womb, is what I'm saying. It starts in the womb. It's a training where they have a girl or boy, but especially if they have a boy. Especially these, well, let me say it like this. If they have a boy, they're going to make him be docile or make him be LBGT. That's the goal nowadays.
And it's unfortunate, man. And, to the men that are looking for traditional wives, man, it's so hard to find. So many men are saying it's hard to find traditional women and find traditional wives. And some will say, oh, you can't get a woman because you're a lame. But no, I don't think it's because a lot of men are lames. I mean, you're a highly educated brother. I think if you really wanted to, especially, man, you could probably get any woman you wanted. But
it's nothing worthy out there. I mean, well, I'm not going to say it's nothing worthy out there, but when I go on these dates with these women, when I go to Starbucks or where we go, well, because I like being outside and walking with these helpers. That's what I like to do. When I talk to them and I start talking about real things about children, religion, politics, how do you feel about that thing in the arm and all this kind of stuff like that, they say the typical robotic stuff. And I'm like, damn, these, no matter what color they are, they say the same thing. And if I say one trigger word for them, oh, he's toxic.
Right.
Yes, he's that. I'm like, y'all are just some, I'm not going to say the S word, but y'all are some diabolical, just Nazis. I mean, that's what they are.
And it's making it hard, man, for traditional men to have traditional standards to get the kind of women that they want. MC Recovery and Wellness, how would you like to add to the conversation about the arrested psyche, and also how a man can have his finances arrested if he get with the wrong woman? How would you like to add to the conversation?
Well, how I basically relate to it is, it's like it's demonic. Oh, can y'all hear me? It is demonic. That's why I put in the chat that that emotional malady and that chronic malady, and and I only say those words because I went through that kind of healing and writing when I did the 4th step, writing the 12-step thing, and then I looked up the words to why I was in so much turmoil. And the funny thing about being in turmoil is that, and then it's another thing. When you say, Kosher, arrested and development, I experienced that also because I used to think it was just a fluke because I used to drink and use and stuff,
Right.
and then and I used to relapse. And I saw when I finally stayed sober that my relationship muscles was weak, all kind of stuff was weak. That I really had to face the world straightforward. So it's like my maturity muscle was weak. So that state that Will is going through, shit, I lived in that to where every reaction when I come home, I can't imagine he does all that work and got to come home to that kind of toxicity.
Wow.
And then look at me, and then I'm saying, man, so it's like toxicity don't care about your age, don't care about your prestige or nothing. Man, so that's what I gotta add. It's like choices outside of of our race look wider than the choices of the ones that's of our complexion.
I'm gonna ask you a question, Westside Colic. This whole de-evolution of femininity. When did you begin to see it happen? Because my heart goes out to you and MC Recovering Wellness, man. You know, I've been married for 26 years, but if I was a single man again, yeah, I wouldn't deal with the typical modern woman either. If I ever got married again, my wife would be a foreign woman, probably from South America or South Africa. You know, in general, I have very high standards, and I know what I want, and I know what I'm not going to tolerate. And but when did you guys see the evolution of femininity in you guys' opinion? Starting with you, Westside.
Elementary school is when I noticed. I started seeing girls touch each other and do weird things like that. And when I was a little boy, I knew what was going on, but I didn't because it was so new and I hadn't been educated about it. And then when middle school came, you started seeing girls in the bathroom with the boys, all girls or whatever, doing what they were doing. And, you know, they were very sexually active at an early age. And I was like, dang, if they're, you know, losing their virginity or V card at age 14 or 15, it's like, what do you have to look forward to? And these weren't typical girls you thought were supposed to do that. These were the nerds or whatever, you know, the hoes are going to do the whole thing. But these were the girls you're supposed to take home to your mom and dad. And I knew from there it was going to be a downfall.
You knew it was going to be a downfall, right? And now, you know, dysfunction is so normalized, man. You know, I always talk about fair exchange, there's no robbery. And I say, what are your men getting in return? You know, what a man got, say, 50 to 100 years ago was a wife-ready woman, a spiritual woman, not all, but many were spiritual. They were in church, especially in the South. No children and chaste. We know there were women that had kids, but she was chaste. She was chaste or she was a virgin. But the exchange the man gave her was his life, provision, protection, love, and support. But if the woman has done the same things that the man has done, then that's not a fair exchange. See, when they try to quit, ideally men and women both should be chaste to marriage. Men and women both should strive to be chaste. But we live in a very modernistic world where sex, you know, sexuality is normal. But what are the men getting in return for doing the right thing? 30% of our men now are virgins because some of these women practice hypergamy. And so, but you got a faction, Westside Colic at MC Recovery Wellness, to just expect men to man up and give their best to women that are not worthy of their time, money, and or resources. And I keep saying it over and over again, a man like yourself that got advanced degrees, you want a woman that's going to add value to your life, not a woman that's going to take away. And where did you get your conservative, you know, background from? You're very conservative. Where did you get that from?
Is that for me? Or
yes, sir.
My parents, my upbringing, my parents. Then it was a natural, it was a natural order for me. I believe we come here with universal law. Some listen to it, some don't. But I listen to my universal law, what God provided me with as a human being, if you will. But you know, fastly, which is my parents and God, and common sense. I'm looking at women, doing all these things like that, living their life at the very early. So what I'm saying is, women have lived their life like they've already been 40 years old at the age of 32 or 28.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, and I'm gonna get real scripted here too, and I'm not gonna not disrespect your channel, but like when you look at them, you see their bodies. I'm talking about naked. You see the wear and tear too. So what I'm saying is, these feminists will say, okay, girls can do whatever whenever. They can't. You can look at their bodies. You can look at how their behavior is. You can look look mentally where they're at, and they're just broken down. I mean, these girls could be 26, 28, and they live their life like they're 80 years old already. And I'm like, damn, this is messed up out here. It's
and people get mad when men won't stand it. You have some women that come into relationships, not all, some come in very entitled. And they come in very entitled, but as a man, when you say, listen, this is what I want and this is what I demand, then all of a sudden it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense, because if you work hard, you will hope that you get the same thing that you work hard for. But many of them don't see it, man. And you're not married. Do you plan to travel abroad at some point to get your wife? Or
I do, but not to be a Debbie Downer, but I mean, they're the same over there in China, Africa, and South America, Central America, Indonesia. They're in Asia, I should say. I mean, they're the same. This Western feminism and this Western demonic feminism has spread like an evil cloud on this whole planet. I'm not saying all, but it's pretty bad out here.
But you would agree the odds are better of finding your wife abroad, even though, yeah, you're right, it's in certain pockets of those countries as well. But I think the odds are a lot better abroad than here in the West.
I've only been to Russia and Germany in terms of abroad. Oh, well, I don't consider Hawaii, but I've only, and I will say this about Hawaii, like I dated a girl that was Samoan and all that, or Samoan and Japanese. And what I noticed about the Samoan culture, they're very family oriented. Very family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
And I did like that. But I haven't really, like I said, I've only been to Germany and Russia. So I don't, in terms of the Asia countries, I really don't know. But I will say this, women, when I look at them online and stuff, they do the same stuff.
Yeah, I think they do. I just think the odds are better. You do take a risk of bringing it back here to America. Some say don't bring it back, but that's a myth. Can she turn? Yeah, she can turn about face, but it depends on how she was raised in the odds, man. I think all that plays a role. MC McCarvin Williams, have you ever been married, man? And
well, the closest of a marriage is the relationship that I have with my son's mother. So I have the custody, but actually that is the closest. But what I'm starting to notice is that this is a whole lot of undealt with trauma, undealt with manipulative trauma, and stuff, because it's like I see a lot of control issues. We ain't really knowing our respective roles in a relationship. So to be traumatized, and the last few relationships I had, the last 4, I can honestly see that I was living and dealing with women that was taking things out on me from prior relationships.
Right. Mm-hmm. Displaced aggression, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm cornered like that, of course my masculinity tries to stand up. And then I remember my great grandsponsor, he even said it at one of our functions, and he told a lot of women to stop using their private part, their vagina, as a bargaining chip and stuff like that. And what cracked me up, when I looked around that auditorium, the women was laughing. And then we look at laughing as a sign of identification. So So, it's gonna take a long time for a lot of this to be repaired. We need our women to to basically work with us, is because I thought that I was gonna have the marriage. All of my friends I grew up with that played basketball in band, went to the military, they all divorced. It's only 2 couples.
Wow.
From my community in South Central still married.
Wow.
And I saw them go through the ups and downs. I thought I was going to be watering the lawn or something, barbecuing, but it didn't go out that way.
Yeah, man. My heart goes out to you, man. My heart goes out to a lot of men. And you guys saw that little montage that I did, that when it comes down to
I grew up with a good stepfather. So, I grew up with the stepfather that taught us how to fix things around the house, paint a house, everything. And he had an appliance store. So what baffled me when it was time for me to use some of my relationship muscles at 34, they was real weak.
Right.
It was always like the trauma I went through is that mama son trauma, that I'm always trying to protect her emotions, like Will Smith, Stephen Curry, and all of these people. Man, it's like, dang. So thank God that and then we get the bullet, like your mama. Oh, I got a whole lot of your mama. You got mama issues.
Right.
Your relationship. I got a lot of those.
Right.
What did your mama do with you? How was your relationship with your mother?
Right.
When they can't get their way.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important for men to have these spaces where we can congregate together and talk as men. I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna let you guys go. You guys have been awesome. Thank you, Westside College. I got some more good stuff planned for you guys coming up, man. It's good for men to come together and share our stories and our pain. We're not gonna agree on all things because we're from different backgrounds and different ideologies, but we do realize that we have a common struggle in heteronormative masculinity, and that's to diminish the image of black men and all men in America, not just black men, it's all men. And so these conversations are so important because we would never get to the apex of masculinity until we begin to stand together as men and to help support one another and cast our bands asunder, which is our ego, and learn to come together to help each other become better. I don't see this world getting any better. The prophet said it won't get any better, not in our lifetime. We had a strong percentage of women, sadly, that voted for, they didn't vote for the family or the community or the black man. They voted for individualism, and that's fine. But these are the same women that want you to put your livelihood, your money, your time, and put everything online. Now Westside College and MC Recovering Wellness, you got a percentage of women that say, a man's supposed to protect just for the sake of protecting. I'm not doing it. I'm not putting my life or my livelihood online for women that don't protect me, not protect me, but honor, respect me, serve me as a man. I'm not doing it. If other guys want to be, sacrificial lambs, they can do it, but I'm not doing that. It's only for women that have shown a history of supporting other men and supporting good women and supporting community. But some random woman that I don't know, I can't do that, man. Can't do it. Not going to do it.
There's none of them. There's no, and I'm saying this, there's no millennial or Generation Z women out here worth protecting. So if they say that to me, they can go straight to hell. They can go straight to hell. They ain't worth. Now I'll do it for my ancestors or my family. The females, my family, are ancestors. But these women of today and the next generation, they can go straight to hell.
So you're a millennial. You're about what, 38, 36?
35.
So you're a baby. And so you're a young guy, man, and I know you probably want to be married by now, but you make good money, you look like you're about 6'2". How tall are you, about 6'2"?
5'11", 243 this morning.
Okay, 243, right. So I know getting women is not an issue for you, but you have very high standards. And when women find out that you're well accomplished, you got your masters and all, how do they respond to you as a man? Are they shocked, or do they try to minimize your accomplishments?
They try to minimize, or they try to find the kink in the armor. And I'm from Dallas, Texas, but I currently live in this DMV area. And the worst women in this country, the worst. I'm gonna say it again, y'all. The worst women ever in this country is in the DC, Maryland, Virginia. These women are witches to the infinite degree, no matter what color. But I will say this: the women that look like us on this panel here, nah, it's impossible to marry a so-called black woman here. These women are, no matter what their, whatever class they're in, whether it be ghetto class, upper class, whatever, they're just, it's comical. But
what's been some of the biggest challenges you had with the DMV women? What's been your biggest challenges?
They're just way too masculine. They act like men. They have these weird AOC, I like to say, or feminazi talking points that it's almost like it's like they have a sheet when they go to a date. They have a sheet they roll out, and it's like they say the same cadence and same talking point. I mean, it's right? Weird. I don't know what's going on here, but these women are done. I'm talking about zombies. Like, it's scary. But they just try to find a kink in your armor. Or to see if you have like a weak link or if you're a simp. And if they notice you're women here, I should say women today, but they don't like intellectual men. They like men that are
less
dumb. So they can, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And once they found that I can figure out their game, they don't like that.
Right. And same with some of the ones that come on my platform. Once they realize they're not going to change the trajectory of what I'm trying to do, they unsubscribe, which is fine. Ever since you've known me, I've been very fair. I'm very kind. I'm a man, but I'm very fair. I don't disrespect women when they come on the platform. I let them talk. But sadly, when you don't say what they want you to say, then they get in their feelings. And I see why some men are reluctant. Unless they're conscious women. If they're conscious women, I don't care if they're coming out of spaces. But in general, most of them can't handle the truth, man. When men talk like men, I'm talking about raw. Mm-hmm. They can't handle the truth. It causes them to have a schema affliction, and either you gonna understand where men are coming from, or you keep it moving. Go ahead, brother.
If I do, I'm sure I have noticed that I can tell in Los Angeles that a lot of these women is definitely aware of the manosphere.
Oh, really?
Yep, it's because it's like they may not say nothing about it. It's because I'm 57, and then now it's like women that I was talking to right in my early recovery. I'm also all of a sudden I'm getting action from 40-year-olds and 39-year-olds, and it's like it's a whole lot to think about. And I noticed when Kevin had a show on the other night, I always noticed in other cultures that, I have seen cultures where the woman made more than the man, and you can still see that it's something going on with about we don't know how to love each other, compliment each other, and share among each other because it's true. I just don't know why we have that conflict. If it's hypergamy, I can't see it because in other cultures, I see I guarantee you that those women that run that nail shop, when they go home, that money it is for the community. It is for the household. And then we can definitely say that we had a whole lot of single family homes. So that's where a lot of that turmoil and trauma come from. Maybe our women never saw that, see, in our household, dad brought some of the money home, but didn't give mom all the money, some of the money. And from my eyesight, I could see it was for to keep these lights on and pay bills and make certain runs.
Most women are insular by nature. They can't. It's in their nature. It's part of evolution, evolutionary biology. Not saying evolution of species, but it's in their nature to be selfish. It's just in their nature, man. And because it is in their nature, you have to move accordingly. But we're going to sign off, guys, in a minute. MC Recovery, man, I really appreciate it, man. Westside College, you guys pop back on in the future, man. I love you, brothers, man. You know, we're a small band, man, but we're getting stronger. And when you guys share this content, because I saw you on the Mirror Show, man. I like your energy. As his brother, he thinks like me. Young brother at that, you know, you like a little brother to me. But it's good to hear men that think alike, men that think the same. Because really, women want masculine men. Really, women really want true masculine men. Men don't understand it. But women really want masculine men. And when men forfeit their masculinity by devaluing themselves, they do more damage than they do good. That's why it's so important for men to continue to revel in their masculinity, to have standards. Because when men have standards, they're not at risk of becoming slaves to their own ignorance. And that's why these shows are so important, because just like Torey Lanez was arrested, a lot of men have been arrested. Will Smith was arrested. He wasn't arrested physically, but he was arrested mentally, socially, and also he's going to be arrested financially. And so being arrested is not just the state of going to jail, but it's also a state of mind. And so I did this show to highlight the Torey Lanez, Meg Thee Stallion situation, because I'm going to ask you guys a question. What percentage of women would you say is just like Meg Thee Stallion? What percentage of American women would you say, white or black, is like Meg Thee Stallion? West side?
87%.
What would you say, MC Recovery, real fast?
About 90. Oh, no,
Right.
no, 80.
Right. And that's what a lot of men are saying over. I mean, people think we're making this stuff up, but men are beginning to say the same thing over. You look at anecdotal notes and you get a randomized sample and you spread that randomized sample out from all 50 countries, states in America. A lot of the men are saying the same thing overall. We're not saying there's not a pocket of good women, but my heart goes out to the single men here. Cause God forbid, if I was a single man again, bro, I'm good.
Yeah, if I do get compliments for being a single father from women, but you know, that's only by a few. But then I get stares of like I haven't figured out the stares from the other women because they see me as a single father. Sometimes I get a mean stare.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Shout out to my man James Turner for that $10 super sticker. Thank you, James Turner. Thank you, James Turner, for that $10 super sticker. And we're gonna sign off in a minute, guys. James Turner said yes, like Westside Logic was saying, women of today cannot handle intelligence. They love Raekwon, Day, Man, Nuke, Big Homie, and Lil Tay Tay. And don't forget Shermite. Right. And I think the reason why they do that because it's a direct assault on their ego. They want, a lot of them want men that are docile and it's basically about control. You know, they want a man that they can control. And the same with me. You know, I've had people try to sabotage me, lie on me, man. You know, try to get me to lose jobs because, you know, I'm very intelligent. You know, I'm 6'6", 6'5" with shoes on, 6'6" with shoes on, highly educated, 3 degrees. You know, I don't have no kids out of wedlock. And that's why I say, man, I think we got more men that are doing the right thing. We know there's some dusty men. There's a strong percentage of men, a percentage of men that have done a lot of damage to the community. But that's not, by and large, the majority of black men, in my opinion. It's only a small percentage. Because I know a lot of brothers that don't have children, never had kids. And I promise you, Westside Logic, a lot of the girls, even though you're not a bad-looking man, but I'm sure some of the girls didn't give you love in high school. They want to holler at you now. Is that true?
I didn't. It's true and not true. I didn't mess with certain. I was what's the word here? I used to, again, I listened to my dad, my uncles, Iceberg Slims, Bishop Don. You know, I used to read these manuals and stuff like that, and these books and these documents and these movies I would look at, and I would apply it early in my life. So when I saw the manosphere come up, I'm like, finally it came up or whatever. But I knew a chicken head was always going to be a chicken head, and you gotta and again, I will say this, a witch is always going to be a witch. And I've noticed they're trying to get more intricate with their spells nowadays. I know it sounds crazy, people like that, but Jada Pinkett Smith is a witch. She is a witch. She is a witch. Y'all need to know this.
Do you think she's one in consciousness, or do you think she actually practices it?
She practices it.
Okay, tell me why you said that, Westside.
Well, when we study, like, for example, I was always told you never eat a woman's spaghetti if you're not married to her.
Right. I heard that too. Right. I know what you're talking to. I know that happened to me one time, man. And I know it's true because I never forget she was from West. She had Caribbean roots, and she was cooking some. I don't know what it was. She was cooking. She was cooking like some neck bones, smoked neck bones, greens, mac and cheese, and then she said, "Do you like my special sauce?" And the way she said it was. The way she, and I know what you're saying is true, man. And I ain't gonna get to my personal bits, but that was my first ever slip up ever, because I was in church, and man, it was so addictive. I had to run because I was so in love with trying to serve God. I said, I can't keep doing this, and but the lust was so strong. I had to go back a second time for seconds, like a runaway slave. I was like Samson when he was on that beam, Lord, just one more time. I was like Samson. I was like Samson when he was on the beam, Lord, just one more time. I had to go back for that glory, man. But after that, man, I had to leave because it was too addictive, and I think she did something because I asked her, she denied it, but I said. And you're right. They said, don't ever do that. Because I said, what you put in it? She said, oh, I can't tell you. She said it very witchy. She said, my special sauce. And I did feel like she was cool, but it was something about it, man. It was something about it. And a lot of those Caribbean women, they'll do that. They'll do that in a heartbeat, man. But listen, guys, I'm going to say this real quick, guys. I'm going to sign off, man. I got a good show coming up soon. Shout out to my man, Top Gun. He said that... the DMV by far the worst, fellas. If you want to focus on your purpose, come to the DMV. These women will make you throw in the towel.
Facts.
Wow, man. That's facts. I didn't realize it was that bad, man. I didn't realize DMV had women that bad, man. But it's unfortunate, man. But guys, we're gonna sign up. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the show. I got to get ready for tomorrow for work. Hold up. Let me read what Jessica Triplett said. She said, so much masculine energy from women. Nasty, but want a nice man. I wish I could join the conversation, starting a broadcast addressing this. New to this channel, y'all spoke facts. Yes, sir. Thank you, sweet. I appreciate it, Jessica. But Jessica, come on in. You can sign in for about 5 minutes and give me your perspective. Make sure you cam up, though, because I don't know you. But come on, Jessica, and sign in. I'll let you cam up and talk to the brothers real quick. So, Jessica, hit the link there if you want to come in and talk for 1 or 2 minutes, under 5 minutes, because I have to go. But Jessica, the link is yours. The floor is yours. We're not going to attack you. If you want to share, the guys would love to hear your perspective, all right? Because a lot of men are looking for good, decent sisters that are honorable women. But I think a lot of guys, Westside and MC Recovery, they worry about the chameleons, man, because you don't know who's genuine and who's chameleons. So many women come in with good intentions, but eventually they show themselves. And I think that's the part that a lot of men struggle with. So Jessica, if you want to come in, ma'am, feel free to come in. We're willing to hear your perspective. So come on in, Jessica, and share your perspective if you would like. We're not going to bite you. We're not going to antagonize you. So if you want to come in and share your perspective, feel free to.
Say, Kosher.
Yes, sir.
Can I make an announcement about an upcoming show?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, man. I'm about to sign off. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So all right, on April 11th, Dr. Dan Fisher will be joining me for emotional CPR. Mm-hmm. Emotional CPR is the training that a lot of us took for the Department of Mental Health, and it's from the National Coalition for Mental Health Recovery. Emotional CPR is to help someone that's in just regular everyday folks have a training to help those that's in emotional crisis, mental health crisis.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that information, man. You guys go check that book out April 11th. Right. You guys go check that out for MC Wellness and Recovery if you need help in that area, man. And I appreciate it. So we're going to sign off, guys. Westside College, man, I love your energy, brother. We're going to do this again. We're signing off, guys. Guys, thank you for supporting the stream. And guys, do me a favor to the 22 to the watch and share this content and help this channel grow. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of these tractors, but guys, we are dedicated. Like those bots, man, I've never had that happen. It was so bad that I would block them. I couldn't even block them at one point. And so I've never seen that before, man, where it just keeps coming on my show. I don't know if somebody's doing it, but it's weird on Westside and MC. I've never had that happen before, man. Never.
Sure, you got to run all your viruses and clean it up.
I don't know what it is. It just kept coming on the stream, man. I don't know if they were trying to get me to click on it so I can get a strike, They shut my channel down, but
Yeah.
you got to be real careful when you do on these shows, man, because sadly some folks don't want you guys to hear the truth. But anyway, guys, we're going to sign off. West Side, man, MC guys, y'all take it easy, man. And we are signing off, all right? So once again, guys, I told you guys that there are 7 steps that a man must go through in order to become optimized, but he cannot become optimized until he take care of his mental health. So, guys, get your mental health taken care of, and we're about to sign off.
Are you a victim of brokenness and despair? A broken man is a hopeless man, and a hopeless man is a very dangerous man. Many times, many of you young men that are listening come from homes that are very toxic and very dysfunctional. And because of that, many of you have deferred your power in many ways to the point it's led over into your social life and many times led over into your relationships. If you guys are dealing with mental health pathologies, conscious and unconscious, come see me at kosherclinician@gmail.com. That's kosherclinician@gmail.com. It's important that you deal with your mental health in order to be a better person for yourself, your loved ones, and also your community. But because mental health is often stigmatized, many of you often suffer in silence. Don't be a victim in silence. And see me once again at kosherclinician@gmail.com. And I need you guys to remember this. If it ain't 7, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, it ain't right. There are 7 steps that a man must go through in order to become an optimized male. And male mental health is one of those elements that's paramount to the functioning of a man. Be well.